Oh, crikey. Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and welcome to another UFO news stream. Because there's been another release, another batch of UFO files and images and videos released by the American government. So I thought we'd go through them, the videos at least. I'm not going through all the PDFs and stuff like that. Leave that to other people like Richard Dolan, who gets really excited. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the over there. Look. Share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, let me check. Yes, we are. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble as well. Yes, we're live on Rumble. And all. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. I better plug me books because one of them's about UFOs. So we'll get to that first. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about UFOs and stuff. Stuff happening on every page. And Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire villages on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give 'em a whirl. What else? My other websites, my other channels, like my music channel and stuff, and my social medias, and Patreon, Spotify, and all that stuff is in the description. Have a rummage about down there. Apologies if you heard that. Idiots bombing about on... I don't know if they're bombing about on motorbikes or on... what they call them, quad bikes. I don't know. But every so often, we've got these idiots that live down the street. And every so often the police go and confiscate all their gear. And then it goes quiet for a while. And then they obviously get some more stuff and then start doing it all over again. They must just be mental. Anyway, my problems. Where were we? Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. Right, can we get on with it now then? Right, so we've got these few videos to look at. I've had a quick glance at them. They're nothing to write home about as usual. But then we've got some news items to look at and some actual videos at the end, which are probably all CGI or AI or whatever, probably. But we're going to have a look at them anyway. But right, so anyway, so let's add this. There we go. From the US Department of War. We're on release number 5, or as I like to call it, Tranche 5. Why that word, I don't know. But anyway, so I've downloaded, you can download them by the way as a zip file. So I've downloaded them. But anyway, but we're going to look at them on the website as nature intended. So we'll just get on with it, shall we? Because the first one, unresolved UAP report from the Gulf of Oman. They're nothing to be amazed about, to be completely honest. I'll full screen it. Right, off we go. What's this one? 16 seconds. This'll be fine. We've got audio with it as well. Look, something. I always wonder, is that movement because of the camera, or is that the object moving? You don't know, do you? You don't know. I mean, is that waves in the background? Let's watch it again. Are these waves? So we're looking down on the sea. So from the motion of those waves, as though we're passing over them, it looks like it's the object that is moving in an erratic fashion, doesn't it? It does to me anyway. It does to me anyway. So that could be classed as mildly interesting, couldn't it? How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Do I just press back? I don't want to get rid of the whole thing. Yes. Right, so we'll go to the... Hang on, something's gone wrong here. What's happened here? Why has this gone doolally? Why has that gone like that? Hang on, let's go back. Go back to there. Right. Still not working right. Let's just refresh the page. See what happens. There we go. That was weird, wasn't it? They don't want us to watch them, do they? I've got to go to release 5 again now. And videos. Unbelievable. Right, next up, another one from the Gulf of Oman. Is it the same object? Don't know. I'll full screen it again. It'll probably all go wrong once more. But anyway, never mind. I just had to unfull screen it, didn't I? That's all I had to do. I'm an idiot. This one's 30 seconds long and we've got a dot. And Starman 6 is here. And have you seen any UFOs yourself? I believe I've mentioned that I've seen several unknowns back in the early 70s. No, I don't think I have, to be honest. There were something I saw when I was a kid. Probably, I don't know, 12 years old-ish. Something like that. But it was just a light in the sky that just seemed to speed up and speed up. It started off, stationary, and then it just started moving away and sped up and sped up. Totally silent. And then it disappeared behind some buildings and stuff, and I lost sight of it. So that's the only thing I can say, but I don't know. It could have been a plane or a helicopter or whatever. I don't know what it was. It's just an unknown. That's the only thing I've seen, really, to be honest, which is poo, I know. But anyway. Right, where were we? This one. Right. It's a little black dot. Again, I don't know if it's the camera motion or if it's the object that is moving erratically. Where are the 4K videos of things that prove that they had alien craft? Because apparently they're out there. People keep saying they're out there, these whistleblowers. But yeah, whatever. We won't watch that one again because nothing happened in it, did it? Right. That was the second one. Next one is the Gulf of Oman again from 2021. Let's have a look. Look, we've got all these little triangles, and it's like a PlayStation game. Oh, it's the black dots back. Was that it? 2 seconds. Is it the object moving erratically, or is it the camera motion? You can't tell, can you? Really? Or is there seems to be some? I don't know. Is it just interference, or are we looking down at the sea from a plane or whatever, and you can just get a sense of waves down there. You see, there's a sense of something down there. I don't know. Like I said, the clips that they're giving us are just the rubbish, aren't they? Frankly, to be completely honest. Anyway, move on to number 4. We're still in the Gulf of Oman. I'll click on it, but Starman 60's talking again. I did observe a disc-chained object. Do you mean disc-shaped object? High up in the 70s, it went into a big cloud. Seemed to hide inside it. In any case, never saw it come out again. Cool. I know people who've seen stuff. I've got a friend, Sasha Christie, you may know her. She had a major sighting. Her multiple people, witnesses there, saw it in Wales back in the day. I think in the 90s. I think it was in the 90s. But apart from that thing I saw as a kid, but which could have been anything. No, I've not seen anything. Disc shaped. All right, okay. Yeah, that's it. I wish I had seen something. Maybe I will at some point. They always say it happens when you're least expecting it. Never go out expecting to see something. Occasionally go out into the back garden if it's a nice night, and I'll have a look up at the stars and stuff. I like doing that. Get my camera out. Not this one that I use up here, but take some, astrophotography and stuff, pictures of the night sky and that, and not caught anything yet. Anywho, right, we're up to the next one. We're still in the Gulf of Oman from 2021. Let's watch this one, 13 seconds. Hang on, it's full screen it. Off we go. It's the black dot again with the PlayStation stuff. No audio this time. But they've got some sort of tracking reticule on the screen. Right, now, there's sometimes you see, sometimes we get a view of the sea down below, don't we? As though it switches the lens or the aperture or something. Like then. Don't know. That's it. They're not the best, are they? PR 120. That's that one we've just seen. Right, we're up to 121. We're still in the Gulf of Oman, for God's sake. There's only 16 videos this time on this tranche. It's not a big one. So Richard Dolan, he did his review of this release, and he were freaking out, saying they were amazing. It's the best one ever. What's he been smoking? I don't know. Maybe there's something in the PDF files that he found more interesting. I don't know. Not looked at those. Well, I've looked at one of them. And there is actually a story about one of them, so we'll get to that one. Right, next up, we're still in the Gulf of Oman, I think. In 2021, this is a 34-second one. Again, with no audio. I don't think it's got audio. Pardon me. No, it hasn't. Another dot. So all we've seen is dots, in it. Either white dots or black dots. Oh! What were they? Right, I'm going to have to look at the description now. Right. See, this is more exciting. Stuff happened, didn't it? Stuff happened. Then. Right, so we'll go back. We'll get out of this. We'll read the description. Video description. And they obviously call it an area of contrast, don't they? Does all this stuff. Loads of stuff seemed to happen, didn't it? Suddenly. Will it let us There we go. That stuff like that. That's at 14 seconds. There we go. A relatively large area of contrast transits from the bottom of the frame to the top of the sensor's field of view, then re-enters from top left to the bottom left of the frame. Relatively smaller area of contrast exits the bottom of the frame. Right, so it wasn't something that they did then. It was, there we go, it was something that they didn't know what it was. So that's more interesting, I must admit. That was more interesting. I don't know what it bloody is, though. Anyway, next up. We're still in the Gulf of Oman. Sorry, Starman 60. I knew a man, Mr. Farish, who was fairly well known from mid-80s on to his passing around 2011. Good guy, published old UFO news. Killing service? You having trouble with your spelling tonight? Back when newspapers were important. Good guy. Yes, there are some of those. Here we go. Been a while. It's been a while. I wonder who it is. It's somebody that I don't know. But anyway, never mind. An idiot. It's an idiot. So yes, there are some good people out there doing UFO reporting. Starman 60. We're going to get some idiots in the chat. It's been a while since they've been here. But anyway. Starman 60, sorry for the type. Don't worry about it. Anyway, where were we? Oh, this one. Gulf of Oman again, I think, yes. From 2021. It's that black dot again. Let's see what happens. It's pretty much the same as the previous one, isn't it? There we go. With a black dot. Can't see any features on it or anything. Very good. Is it just going to be just this all the way through? Still on the Gulf of Oman. This is the last one, though, I think. I haven't just done this one, have we? Oh, no, we've just done that one. Right, so we're moving on to the Pacific Ocean. 2019. Oh, this is a minute-long one. Right, so we'll see what happens. I bet it's just another bloody black dot, but we'll watch it. I think we do see a video that has been shown before. It might be this one where it, they call it a splash one or whatever, where it goes into it appears to go into the sea. So for some reason there's no audio on this, but the previous time we've seen it, it's been on the news. There's been audio where they're going, it's splash one and all that stuff. Maybe there's audio and another video of it. But it's just a blob. Has it been filmed off a screen rather than it's the footage itself? 'Cause there's weird stuff going on here. Starman 60 asks, did you ever meet Timothy Good? No, I didn't. It's a big UFO title, late 80s, above top secret. Yes, he's done a few books, hasn't he? But no, I never got to meet Timothy Good. Yeah, that were good, wasn't it? Speaking of good, that were good. What's next? Is this the same thing but different? Probably. Let's have a look. We're going to get in the audio of this one. No. Let's say it's cropped, isn't it? For some reason it's cropped. Why have they cropped it? To remove stuff, identifying features or whatever on the film, telemetry and all that. Don't know. But is this one where it's going to go into the sea? Disappear into the sea. Could be. Oh, yeah, it is. I looked away for a second and it had gone. Which is generally what happens, isn't it? You know, were that just the waves? But they were like a dark area, weren't they? I think it was just the waves, wasn't it? Yeah, 'cause there's another one there. Is it going to come back out? No, I don't think it does. No, there we go. Where did it disappear into the sea? So I looked away and it had bloody gone. Here it goes. It like disappears at the horizon line though, doesn't it? Weirdly enough. Anywho, what was that one? 124. So we've seen 124. 125 Pacific Ocean again. So it's probably another view of the same thing. Just bear with me, because we've got another idiot. If it turns out it's somebody I know, they're in trouble. Serious trouble. But anyway. Stammer60 says, the cone-shaped UFO I saw pass over highway around early 80s was the best for me. I discussed that before various places. Definitely not ours. Cool. Let's have see bugger all. Me. Anyway. Right, back to this one again, this dot. Very good. How long's this one gone for? I didn't check. Oh, it's not long. Done. I mean, what could they hope to prove with stuff like this? I forgot which one I was watching. Never mind. We'll go back to this one. Oh, this is a different one here. This is different by the looks, isn't it? Right, so this is 2 minutes. Yay. And Justin's here with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Justin. That's very kind of you. Saying hello, everyone. There's just Justin and Starman60 in the chat so far. And we've had a couple of idiots. I think it's just the same one in different accounts. But we'll probably have more. Anywho. Ooh, is that... Oh, there we go. Again. No reference points. It's just, could be anything. Oh, look, there's two more. Look, it could be anything, couldn't it? But whatever, we'll keep watching. Are they stars there? They're moving, against the stars. Don't know. Ooh, they've zoomed in. Doesn't help though, does it? Oh dear. I mean, for all we know, it's cars. It could be cars on a road somewhere in the dark, in the distance. For all we know. Well, it's probably not. But there's not a lot we can learn from lights in the sky. Lights, as they used to be known as, didn't they? I mean, there's that same pattern of if they are stars there again. So if they come back round, or is it just repeating? Which is kind of suspicious. In and of itself, we're nearly done. Oh, God, 30 seconds to go. Hey. Yes, you would think they'd get a better camera with the billions of dollars they have. Thomas, it's, have you looked into Travis Walton's case much from 1975? I can't say, you know, I've not read the book Fire in the Sky. I've seen the film and obviously know of Travis Walton. I've seen interviews with him. But that's about all I know about it. I can't say I'm an expert or anything. But we'll see. There were a good, on Area 52, the Area 52 channel, there were a good interview with Travis Walton and Bob Lazar. That were good. That were good. You know, interviewing each other. That were a good episode. She says that could be a plane. Yes, it could be. It could be anything because we've no reference, is there? It could be anything. Here we go. Here we go. He's off. Tell you. There we go. There we go. Justin says Fire in the Sky was scary. It was when it got on the onto the flying saucer parts, and you know the abduction part, which was about 10 minutes of the film, wasn't it? But anyway. Anywho, let's move on. What was that one? 126. Right, what we up to? 127. Pacific Ocean. Another 2.5 minute one, bloody hell. Of lights in the sky. What does it say? Camera pans to track an apparent light. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yes, it's idiots, Justin. It's probably the same person that just keeps popping up every now and again just to make a nuisance of himself and gets a big thrill out of it. Go bother somebody. Go bother a channel that's got more viewers. But anyway, whatever. Whatever. This is exciting, isn't it, this one? Salmon 60 says there's a Richard Crenna movie also called Fire in the Sky, but that deals with small comet hitting Phoenix, Arizona. I think I've seen that one. Easy to get those two movies mixed up. Yes. I've seen that. It was like a TV movie, wasn't it? It came out late 70s, early 80s. I remember seeing it on TV. Fire in the Sky. Get in there. Oh dear. So we spin it on a bit because it's, you know, just more of the same, isn't it? Yeah, we're not learning anything. It's just lights against a black background or a background full of fuzz. Justin's heard about that movie, never seen it. I haven't seen it since I originally saw it back in the day when I was a kid. But anyway. Right, next up, I think that was the last one of those because we're up to PR 134, Middle East. Pardon me. Oh, right, so this is going to be a dot flying over probably somewhere in Iraq or somewhere like that by the looks of it, doesn't it? Anyway, let's see what happens. Off we go. Yes, it could be anything. Something happened there. I wasn't paying attention. They switched the camera, didn't they? So we've got white blobs and black blobs and... But it's stuff that we've seen in all the other releases. It's just this like the same sort of stuff they're just releasing every time, mostly. But... what can you do? Justin says, these feel like old late 80s camcorders. Yes, they do. Yes, they're on these, like, $1 million jets and stuff, these cameras that cost more than we earn in a lifetime. But anyway. Stammer60 says, yeah, around 78, 79 for Richard Crenna Fire in the Sky. I'm thinking Crenna was in the TV version of Bud Hopkins' Intruders, come to think of it. I didn't know there was one. I didn't know they'd made a TV version of Intruders. And Justin says, I wish they would have government report for each vid. They have like a little explanation of it, don't they? But that's about it. I mean, there might be like, in the PDF files, there might be like a I bet it's just like a report, logged as unknown. That'll be it, won't it? I bet nobody's done any actual investigation into it beyond the cursory examination. I mean, there's nothing there, is there? Apart from the description of it. Like it says, United States Central Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, consisting of 1 minute and 39 seconds of video footage from an electro-optical and infrared sensor aboard a US military platform in 2025. And then just describes what we see. What was that one? 134. Next page. Anywho, sorry, just deleted some idiots again. Where were we? Justin says, no Mulder and Scully investigate. No, none of that. Not even a Nick Pope. Rest in peace, Nick Pope. Anyway, where were we? Next one, Middle East again. There'll just be more flying over a town and stuff. Oh no, we've got something different this time, haven't we? And it's 33 seconds. No audio though, I bet. Over a mountainous area. What we're going to see. Oh, there, another dot. Oh no, it does have, we can see like sunlight reflecting on it, look. Well, it seems to have. Is it spinning? Is it spinning? Don't know. Could it almost be cube-like? Because there's, I think in one of the videos that we're going to look at, there's a cube-shaped when I put it on the thumbnail. Was that it? Oh, yes, that's it, right. Like that there. Oh, there. Just happened to pause it there. Kind of looks cube-shaped there, doesn't it? With the light on top of it. Stammer6 says, yes, Mo seems to have forgotten the Bud Hopkins Intruders movie. I didn't even know there was one. I'll have to look that up. Oh, crikey. What was that one? I forgot. 136. Wrong button. Cack-handed frigger. What's next? 11 seconds. What we're looking at here then? These ships. Yeah, we're looking at a coastline out and there's ships out there. Right, let's have a look. 11 seconds. They're on the audio in that first one, won't they? Have I pressed it, haven't I? Yes. Oh. Something moved. Something flashed across frame, didn't it? We'll play it again. Something goes across frame there. There it is. I mean, I don't know. Could it be a bit slow for a meteor, innit? And low. It'd be like a meteorite, wouldn't it? But they'd be super fast, wouldn't they? Yeah, okay. Interesting. Play it again since it's only 11 seconds. There it is. Kind of reminds me of that scene in Jaws. Remember in Jaws where they're out at sea and you see a meteor flash across the screen? Nobody seems to know if that's real or a special effect. It seems to be up in the air. Nobody seems to know the answer. I imagine Steven Spielberg does, but maybe he's not talking. Starman City says, Nick Pope, he started out as a skeptic, right? Yes, well, let's say he worked at the government department, didn't he? But Secretariat, Air Staff 2A or something like that. Glad he changed his opinion as time went on. Rest in peace to him. Yes, he was a nice fellow, Nick Pope. Not met in person. I've been to a UFO convention. I worked at it, but never met him. But saw him, interacting with people and stuff like that. And he was a nice chap. Nice chap. Maybe a bit too nice at times, but anyway. What's this next one? More ships. Where are we? Middle East. So it's in the Arabian Gulf or the Mediterranean or somewhere like that. Right, what's going to happen here? Oh, there it goes. There it goes straight away. I mean, that could be a bloody seagull for all we know. But, they're following it. They're following it. So is this from a plane or... They just say platform, don't they? Could it be a drone? I don't know. It could be a bloody blimp, an airship for all we know. But they're following it, aren't they? But they're just dots of whatever, or orbs, or whatever. There's no structure to them, it seems. It's obviously not a bird. You'd see flappy wings, wouldn't you, if it were a bird? Even if it were teeny tiny, you'd see it like pulsating, wouldn't you? Which it isn't doing. There we go. So, yeah, interesting. But as I said, it's just more of the same. And the last one, Slow Moving Objects 2026, an FBI file. An FBI, this is 10 seconds, what's happening here? Now, what we're looking at here now? Well, I presume it's that. I'll play it and see if we can work out where we are. We're looking up at clouds. Oh, there's two, isn't there? There's two objects. I don't know. I was looking up at clouds, or for some reason I get the feeling we're looking at a lake, and that's a reflection of trees or whatever at the side of a lake, and it could be ducks. I don't know on the lake. No idea. I'll play it again. Because with no real context apart from that, they are clouds, aren't they? Don't know. Justin says, strange stuff, but could be some kind of drone. Yes, it could be. Stammer 60 says, I think the Jaws object was filmed accidentally. But it happened twice, didn't it? There's two shots with it. Popular on my belief they were added later. I seem to recall in magazines they talked about the meteors passing over during filming. Okie dokie. But if in one of the Indiana Jones films, I think it's the second one, Temple of Doom, there's a meteorite in that as well. Or meteor in that as well. But I think, did he think I'll try and do it as an homage? I don't know. But anyway. So there we go. I think that's all the videos from the tranche. There's some images, but they're just all renderings, digital renderings. And Keith's here. Hello, Keith. Welcome. We've just been through all the UFO videos of the latest War Office release. These are the images. Like I said, they're just digital renderings of a description. So somebody's seen the black triangle. So there we go. There we go. Love to see something like that. Where were they supposedly from? Doesn't say. Doesn't say. But two former US military service members. That's kind of Close Encounters-ish, isn't it? The street lights. But, cool. Yeah, and like I said, there's a load of PDFs. How many PDFs is there? 22 PDF files, which I've downloaded, but I haven't really looked at them. But anyway, never mind. Keith said, what's the replay? I was worried about the big, huge triangle. Don't worry about it. We'll move on. We'll move on to the news items now. That's what we'll do, because there's a few of them. So how do I do this? I forgot how to do it. There we go. First up from Euronews. 14,000 UFO sightings in Germany, reporting centre in Hesse investigates. There we go. Reported by Neela Heidner. Glowing spheres and mysterious lights are generating a wave of reports. Is that big enough? I'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. In Germany, as Pentagon files reignite debate, CNAP, if that's how you pronounce, I don't know, in Lutzelbach, has long sought to explain the sightings. Keith says, I live in East Tennessee. We're more afraid of Elvis impersonators. Thank you very much. The Central Research Network for Extraordinary Celestial Phenomena, CNAP, is a point of contact for people in Germany who are looking for a scientific explanation for what they observe in the sky. CNAP director Hans-Jürgen Kohler says they have never received as many reports as they do at the moment. We receive between 3 and 6 reports a day. Without question, we're the busiest reporting centre in the German-speaking world. By August 2026, he and his team had cleared up some 14,000 cases. And that's just showing some of the videos from the Pentagon releases, or the War Office releases, should I say. Kohler is an amateur astronomer. It all started with youthful recklessness. We were working at the observatory and expanding our knowledge there. By the way, I have met, speaking of UFO researchers, I have met Michael Hessman, who was an interesting chap. I gave him a lift to the airport once. We got talking about the, you remember the alien autopsy? And when Spiros Melaris came out and said it were him that created and filmed the alien autopsy. And it caused a bit of a kerfuffle at the UFO convention I were at. Dear. And he wasn't happy about it either. So they were getting a bit cross on the trip to the airport. But anyway, Star 160 says, yes, Elvis impersonators, very scary, all right. Thank you very much. Where were we? We were working, says Kohler. Not Coca-Cola. I forgot his first name already. Hans-Jürgen. I should have remembered that, shouldn't I? Hans-Jürgen Kohler. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. I probably am. We were working at the observatory, I can't speak, and expanding our knowledge there. Back then, lots of calls were coming in, and the observatory was getting fed up with it. That prompted us to take a closer look at the whole UFO subject. As an 11-year-old, he watched the moon landing on television. It left a deep impression on him and laid the foundations for his interest. If I'd known back then what was coming, I wouldn't have done it. There really were a few annoying years, but these days I enjoy it because we can give people a sensible explanation. It's aliens, that's sensible. It isn't, it's all of the above. In 1973, at the beginning, when we were young men starting to grapple with this subject, we obtained microfilms from the USA from the Second World War era, showing flying objects that were considered inexplicable phenomena. So is he on about Foo Fighters? I don't think I've ever seen a video of Foo Fighters. I've seen photos. I don't think I've ever seen videos. Unless it just means microfilms with photos on. I think that's what it means, doesn't it? We realised that even back then, during the war, there were repeated natural phenomena. We don't know, do we? Says Kohler. Some of the images were quite striking, not least because of the pilots' reactions, as they asked themselves in astonishment what might just have flown past them. Today, with the Pentagon in Washington having released the so-called UFO files, the topic is gaining momentum again. It's doing my head in, though, I've got to admit. We've had 5 batches, I'm not going to say tranche, I hate that word. We've had 5 batches released so far, and we don't seem to be getting any closer to anything, do we? But whatever. After the US Navy had released videos showing unidentified flying objects, now officially mostly referred to as unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP. You just call them UFOs. Everybody does. The Pentagon in April. This is, changing the names to UAPs is like the officialdom trying to take control of the situation and steer it in their direction. That's what it is. The UFOs. The Pentagon in April 2020 for the first time formally confirmed the authenticity of 3 recordings from 2004 and 2015. The video shows encounters between US military pilots and flying objects whose origin could not initially be clearly determined. In December 2022, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, was even set up within the US Department of Defense. The office is tasked with systematically investigating UAP reports. Oh, crikey. The office is tasked with I've just read that. Assessing any potential threats to national security and reviewing past cases. Starman 60 says, Ed Walters' UFO case from the late 80s, the Gulf Breeze, yes, can be interesting. Don't know, I believe it really, but Walters' Gulf Breeze UFOs, Florida affair, made him wealthy anyhow, did it? Oh, right, I don't know. I know of the Gulf Breeze case, and like I say, it's controversial, isn't it? There's some people that say they found models in his house, didn't they, and all that. But other people say, allegedly, there's other witnesses, isn't there, that saw things at the same time. But anyway, and Beardy Brits is here. Welcome, Beardy Brits. Go and subscribe to his channel for his dad joke of the day and his on this day videos. Where were we? For Cola, that's old hat. We already know the archives anyway. There was nothing in them that was new to me. For the younger generation, though, it is something new. We can only yawn when we see the old footage. One of the recordings, the so-called gimbal video, speaking of yawning. Blimey, sorry about that. I'm really, really tired. I'm thinking, I'm too tired to do this stream. But I thought, no, I will soldier on. I had a walk into town today. So I'm going off topic now. I had a walk into town, and it's quite a nice warm day. And for some reason, it killed me on the way back. I was buggered on the way back. It was horrible. It was awful. Anyway. Where were we? I'll start again. One of the recordings, the so-called gimbal video, was made in January 2015 during a training flight by US Navy FA-18 off the coast of California. The infrared footage shows an unidentified object that appears to rotate on its own axis and is commented on in astonishment by the pilots. The Pentagon itself has confirmed the authenticity of the recording, but by its own account has so far been unable to clearly establish the object's exact identity. Keith says, I just sent an email to Stuntbrat, your buddy. Stuntbrat's amazing. I've seen her shoot Worf. I tell that to everybody. And Stammer60 says, think there were some witnesses in Gulf Breeze besides Walters. Seem to be some unknowns around, despite models found and all that. Yes, it's a similar thing that says to a lesser degree, like the Billy Meyer stuff in it in Switzerland and all that, where some people swear blind that is the video. Some of the videos he's done or films, is done are real, but then models have been found that look rubbish. The models that he did, but anyway. Where were we? Kohler is convinced that the video shows nothing more than a balloon. He explains its apparently rapid movement as a relative motion between the aircraft and the balloon. Because of the jet's high speed, it creates the impression that the object is racing past at enormous pace. You'd think a pilot would know about this, though, wouldn't you? But anyway. It also has something to add on the FA-18 itself. Ever since it was introduced by the US Navy, it has had issues with its electronic tracking systems. It seemed to be fine in Independence Day, didn't it? It has received 9 updates to get that under control, and there are still misreadings, including in the speed indications. But as Kohler says with some frustration, All of that simply gets lost. The film is shown again and again, and the debunking is like a drop in the ocean. It too just disappears. Above all, on social media and X, the kind of tall tales that are told there are so absurd. I don't even watch it anymore because it annoys me. It runs counter to my work. Oh God, we're still going. How long is this article going on for? Kohler boils down the reports that reach him to one core idea. Supposedly visitors from far out there drop by every day to see what we're up to here. I do not deny, that there is life out there, but are we really to believe that they travel across galaxies with highly advanced technology to our, that's the crux, highly advanced technology, to our blue planet and then crash of all places here above the desert? Accidents happen. Don't matter how advanced you are. Stammer6 says, yes, the Walters and Billy Meyer cases, they're definitely similar. If not in appearance, but in, the stuff that happened. Anyway. And I don't think Ed Walters has one arm, does he? But anyway. I forgot what I want now. Critics of CNAP occasionally complain that the organisation assesses so many UFO sightings very sceptically and places a strong emphasis on conventional explanations. Supporters see that as precisely the organisation's strength. CNAP seeks to classify observations in scientific terms and distinguish between genuinely unexplained phenomena and misinterpretations. I mean, fair enough, if they look at each report, equally and fairly, and say that, oh, no, I can't explain this, so it's unexplained, I don't know what this object is in this photo or video or whatever, then fair enough. But if they just try and, if they are the swamp gas brigade, then they're not helping, are they? That's a Haven quote. Accidents happen. Is it what's Haven? Over here, Haven's a holiday campsite where you can go to the seaside cheaply. Oh, your daughter, Haven. Right, okie dokie. Hello, Haven, if you're listening. Accidents do happen. The differing assessments mainly stem from the question of how open one should remain to explanations that are still unknown. We're nearly done, thank God. I understand that people start puzzling over it. I can end up in that situation too, says expert Kohler. Some people call the police at 2 a.m. and say they can see something flashing in the sky. Then the officers call us because the people insist so strongly that there is something there. So you have 2 police officers standing there looking up at the sky together with the caller, unable to explain either, and phoning us. Kohler has a recommendation for such cases. Members of the public can find out what they are observing. There are free astronomy apps. You can point your phone at the sky and the name of the celestial body then appears. Yes, there is. What has he been able to identify so far? Aircraft, helicopters, rocket stages, satellites, astronomical causes such as meteors, bright fireballs, daytime meteors, planets, bright stars, balloons of all kinds, weather, atmospheric hot air, and decorative foil balloons in XXL format, from children's birthday parties and weddings. He hasn't mentioned solar balloons. Remember, they're like huge bin liners. They're usually big and black and long, cigar-shaped. So they were popular a while ago. As well as lasers used by event organisers that sometimes shine over distances of several kilometres. And also don't forget Chinese lanterns and stuff like that. Anyway, where were we? Starman60 says, I'm thinking Meyer has one arm. Yes, he does. Or does if he's still with us anyway. I think he still is knocking about, I think. Not his old, though, now, isn't he? I think he's at least in his 80s, isn't it? I think he is. I'll look him up. Let's have a look. Look up Billy Meyer. Billy Meyer. There he is. He's 89, yes, and he's still alive. Edward Albert Meyer, commonly nicknamed Billy. So there we go. Yes, he is still with us. Justice says, I think most UFO enthusiasts want that smoking gun, but it's most likely it will come in small batches. The smoking gun will be invasion, or a ship just shows up and says hello. Yes, something, to land in the middle of a city or something like that with loads of TV cameras on it. People still won't believe it, though. They'd say this is fake and all that. But anyway. Keith says when the UFOs were above New Jersey, they knew they weren't from there because they were using their blinkers. Ha ha! If they're like BMW or Audi drivers, they won't use them. Anyway. Stammer 6 says, well, maybe they just appear stationed over our cities eventually, but won't blast us, let's hope. They've probably got something much worse planned. Be like the Ashen in Stargate SG-1. They'll just slowly sterilise us out of existence. Anyway, where were we? There are, however, also cases that Kohler has not been able to resolve. Anyone hoping to see them as proof of extraterrestrial visitors will be disappointed. These were not alien visits. The cases, well, do you know that if you don't know? The cases have simply remained unexplained because we lack key information. For a serious investigation, we need the date, time, place, direction in the sky, and if possible, visual material. Only then can we start our research. But yeah, it's still unknown, though. And unexplained, so you can't say there were not alien visits because you don't know. Just say you don't know. Astronomers are the worst. Professional astronomers are the bloody worst when it comes to UFOs. Yeah, it's too far away. Yeah, with our technology. Anyway, so there we go. So there you go. 14,000 UFO sightings in Germany, and all of them are not aliens, according to. I forgot his name already. Hans-Jürgen Kohler. What a knob. Anyway. Moving on to the next one. Oh, this is the one that's about... there it is. One of the files in this latest batch. It's like a one-page file that just says something crashed in Brazil and there were a man in it. And then that's all it says. So this is a story about that. I'll make that bigger. Here we go. Declassified UFO files reveal US probe into 1963 Brazil dead spaceman crash claim that quickly fell apart. US declassified records detail a 1963 probe into a claimed sphere crash in Brazil by ASME. For illustrative purposes only, I imagine. Right. Declassified US government records have revealed that American officials investigated a bizarre 1963 report claiming a metal sphere had crashed in a Brazilian town with a dead, unidentified occupant inside. The alleged incident took place in Conde. That name rings a bell. Unless I've seen this story before. I may have done and forgot. A municipality in Brazil's Bahia state on November 8th, 1963. A Portuguese language broadcast by the way, I found out recently that Portuguese Brazilian apparently is very different to Portuguese. Or Brazilian Portuguese is very different to Portuguese. Just found that interesting. Is Mexican Spanish a lot different to Spanish then? Maybe it is. Like American English is a bit different to English. Sorry, Starman 60. He says, you sure were right about astronomers. Carl Sagan really irked me. Yes, he could be annoying at times and amazing at other times. He were an enigma, wasn't he? I think that was on Ancient Aliens. Oh, that where I've heard it. That might be where I've heard of it before then. Anywho, where were we? A Portuguese language broadcast by Rio de Janeiro's Radio Tupi reported that a large metal sphere had fallen in the middle of the town, leaving a deep hole. According to a US government transcript of the broadcast, the object allegedly contained a human body wearing heavy clothing marked with inscriptions that could not be deciphered. The extraordinary report quickly drew the attention of US officials. American diplomats in Brazil sought information about the incident while the details were circulated among the State Department, the Defense Department, and NASA. But the investigation soon produced a far less mysterious explanation and ultimately found no evidence that the reported crash had occurred. On November 14th, 1963, 6 days after the original radio report, and close to that, remember it was the Kennedy assassination happened? That was around about that time, wasn't it? 6 days after the original radio report, the US Embassy in Rio de Janeiro sent a telegram to the State Department and the American consulate in Salvador seeking clarification. The embassy described the reported object as a large metal manned balloon and the alleged occupant as a dead crewman wearing what was described as a uniform or spacesuit with strange markings. Officials had also heard reports that an object had been seen flying over the area around the same time and had tentatively been identified as a weather balloon according to the Daily Mail report. However, the embassy stated that no such craft had been recovered from the ground. The inquiry was subsequently passed to the Defense Department and NASA. American officials were seeking to establish whether local authorities had actually confirmed the incident or whether reports circulating in Brazilian newspapers were unfounded. A final diplomatic cable dated November 20th provided a starkly different picture. Harold Midkiff, the American consul in Salvador, reported that the story had apparently been fabricated in Rio de Janeiro. According to the cable, as cited by Daily Mail, newspaper reporters and other investigators had travelled to Conde, I'm probably mispronouncing that as well, but could not find anyone who had witnessed an unusual object falling from the sky. The local Secretary of Public Security had suggested that the object might have been a weather balloon, but that possibility could not be independently verified either. Stammer City says, true on Sagan, I think he believes Mars moons were either artificial or maybe were hollow. In the 60s, he could go from one extreme to the other. And there are some suggestions that it were part of Majestic 12, and they even did that in the Dark Skies TV series as well, but there were some suggestions that it was part of the cover-up, which I wouldn't be surprised. Midkiff also forwarded 2 newspaper reports from Bahia, I don't know how to pronounce it, supporting the conclusion that there had been no confirmed crash. One report said Brazil's Ministry of Aeronautics had categorically denied that a strange object had appeared in Conde, whatever. Another carried the dismissive headline, "The airship that wasn't there." The diplomatic record said the only unusual development that could be confirmed was that a report had managed to send a dispatch from Conde using an old Morse code machine at a Federal Telegraph office. Didn't Sagan also help write Contact? Yes, he did write it with his wife, I think. I think she helped, didn't she? I forgot her name. But, yes, it was his book, was Contact, yes. Which I've read. It's a good book, Contact. It's a good book. And an even better film. The film is better than the book. But the book has some good stuff in it that is not in the film. Which I think would be cool. But anyway. Because it kind of suggests in the book that the universe may have an artificial source, if you know what I mean, a creator, because they're examining the pi, and they use a supercomputer to calculate, pi to a squillion decimal places, and they find the print. They do the print out pi, and it turns out way deep inside pi, the numbers form a perfect circle or something like that. But only if you could work out pi would you find that clue. But anyway, they didn't do that in the film, so never mind. I forgot what I want now. I'll start again. The records are part of a new tranche. God, I hate that word. Of declassified UFO material released by the US government. Their inclusion in the archive provides a glimpse into how American officials handled extraordinary reports during the Cold War. But the documents do not establish that a spacecraft crashed in Brazil, nor do they confirm that a non-human or unidentified crew member was recovered. Instead, they show that US officials took the report seriously enough to seek verification through diplomatic channels. Their investigation ultimately found no witnesses, wreckage, or other physical evidence supporting the sensational account. The file also leaves unanswered a basic question: who originally created the story and how it reached Radio Tupi remains unclear. According to the Daily Mail report, an apparent date error in one of the records lists the incident as occurring in November 1964, although the surrounding documents and the diplomatic correspondence place the reported event in November 1963. Was that it? Is it? Yes, it is. So there we go. So did it happen or didn't it happen? Who knows? Somebody knows somewhere, don't they? Somebody knows somewhere. There we go. Stammers. It says, I'm thinking Sagan's wife, Anne Dryan. That's the. I couldn't think of a name. I was thinking Diane, but obviously it's similar, isn't it? Wrote much or most of Contact. Haven't read it though. Got her name wrong too. No, it's something like that. It's along those lines. Yes, you're something like that. It is a good book, I must admit. Saying it was written by a scientist. It is a good book. Anyway, I used to read Patrick Moore's. He used to write science fiction books back in the day, and he used to read some of his stories, which were okay, but his spaceships were rubbish. He used to write science fiction stuff. But anyway. Those pies are a perfect circle, except if Grandma had a bad day. Grandma's apple pie. Justice says, towards the end of his life, he kind of changed his mind on some stuff and was more open to it. I wouldn't be surprised. And Starmer says, kind of hope Sagan did. A book called Other Worlds was one of the first I ever bought. The only book of his I've read is Contact. So I don't know. But I used to like watching, what do they call it now? Cosmos. I used to like watching Cosmos when he was flying about in his spaceship of the imagination, which was a dandelion seed, wasn't it? I used to like that Cosmos. Anyway, so there we go. So anyway, did this crash happen in Brazil or didn't it? Who knows? But there's a PDF file in the government release, but it doesn't tell you much. It just says something happened and doesn't go into details. Right, we will move on. I'm going to check the length of this article. Oh, it's not too bad. And I'll make the writing bigger. I know you can't see it. I haven't put it on yet. There, we'll make it a bit bigger. Right, next up, share this tab instead. We're looking at a classic UFO case. Now, here we go from CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I don't know which it is, whatever. The man who phoned in Canada's most famous UFO sighting became the face of the mystery. Laurie Wickens was driving home from an October 1967 dance when he saw something crash into the Atlantic Ocean. This is obviously the Shag Harbour incident, which I actually don't know a lot about. For some reason, it's a super famous case, but it's kind of obviously I've known of it, but it's something that I've never looked into for some reason. I don't know why. I know the basics and all that, but I've never really looked into it. There we go. Crash site of the 1967 Shag Harbour UFO. Because all ships and stuff arrived, didn't they, to try and recover it and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm sure this article will tell us. And there's Laurie Wickens in a 2017 photo. Oh, he died recently at 76, so this is why we're telling us about it. And Windgrace is here. Yeah, for YouTube, just sending me I think YouTube's fallen out with me. I think I genuinely think YouTube has fallen out with me. I got a weird email, but I don't know which one of my channels it referred to, because I've got 3 channels. I think, yeah, I've got 3 channels, and it said something like, "We're taking away basically your privileges," but none of my channels seem to have changed. I don't know, but anyway. But I think YouTube's doing silly things. Anyway, back to this article. Is that big enough? I'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. As a 17-year-old, Laurie Wickens... It's massive on my screen, but I don't know. As a 17-year-old, Laurie Wickens drove some friends home from a dance on a clear October 1967 night. He spotted lights in the sky. I were a baby. at this time, just a few months old. As he travelled on Highway 3 in an isolated coastal part of southwestern Nova Scotia, he saw 4 lights in the sky that flashed in sequence, then all together at the same time. Everybody, at the same time, all together. All of a sudden, the object crashed into the waters off the fishing village of Shag Harbour. Justin says, check your settings to make sure everything is good. Everything seems fine. I don't think anything's changed. But anyway. Starman 60 says, I've heard rumours of the Brazilian crash. Jim and Coral Lorenzen published a good bit on that. They had the group APRO. Guess the long title seemed more respectable. I mean, Aerial Phenomena Research Organisation. Oh, fine, Wingrace, thank you. Anyway, where were we? Wickens drove to a phone booth, remember them, and called the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. He was initially met with scepticism and was asked if he'd been drinking. You've been drinking, eh? Shortly after the call ended, the payphone started ringing. When he answered, it was the RCMP, said his daughter, Stephanie Wickens. And they're like, Mr. Wickens, stay where you're at. We've got officers coming because we've just got more phone calls, he said. I told you I wasn't lying. In what came to be known as the Shag Harbour UFO incident, Wickens became its public face. It was a role that continued until his recent death at 76, and there's photos. News footage shows the search in the days following the UFO incident. On the October 4th, 1967 event is considered Canada's most famous UFO incident, said UFO researcher Chris Stiles, who has written books on the topic, in part because of the large witness pool, what authorities said at the time, and the subsequent paper trail left behind. I don't think we'd all be talking about this today to the extent we do if it wasn't for Laurie Wickens, Stiles said. And there's a newspaper cutting from the, how the hell do you say that? Nanaimo Daily Free Press. It's 10 cents, so it's not free. I just mean free press, as in, freedom of the press. 10 cents, but whatever. One of the RCMP officers who responded, Constable Ron O'Brien, described seeing a light floating about 800 metres offshore. It was being carried out to sea by the tide and disappeared before we could get a boat to it, he was quoted as saying by the Canadian press. Stiles said RCMP officers commandeered 2 fishing boats to see what was in the water and if there were any survivors, assuming a plane had crashed. They were joined on the boat by local fishermen and other residents, including Wickens. When they go out upon the water, they find a trail of odd yellow foam that's bubbling to the surface. Some say it smelled of sulphur. Oh, this one's where did the dog get ill or die? Because this yellow stuff. People got ill, didn't they? Yes, I remember that. And I'm sure a dog either got ill or died or something happened to it. I'm sure it did. Anyway, said Stiles, noting the foam was described as being 24 metres wide and 800 metres long. He said depending on who you talk to, the object either disappeared or submerged. No planes were reported to be operating in the area at the time of the incident, Stiles said. The day after the incident, Thursday, October 5th, the search continued. Archived CBC news footage of the day shows Wickens was part of it. There he is. There he is. A young Laurie Wickens with a copper. With a copper. Anyway, looking out to sea at the mysteries out there. On Friday, October 6th, a naval diving team was brought in and 7 divers searched through the weekend. The Canadian press reported the depth of the water searched ranged from 9 metres to 20 metres, and visibility was good over a flat sand sea bottom. They claimed to find nothing, although some local residents claimed, and it was recorded in the weekly papers, that some debris was brought up, said Stiles. The investigation reached the highest levels of national defence. Starman 60 says the Stephen Michalak UFO case from Canada in the 1960s is still fairly famous. It rings a bell. It does ring a bell. But I can't remember off the top of my head, but it does ring a bell. As an October 6th, 1967 memo by Colonel W. W. Turner, the Director of Operations at National Defence Headquarters, noted the Rescue Coordination Centre conducted a preliminary investigation and discounted the possibilities that the sighting was produced by an aircraft, flares, floats, or any other known objects. Another memo written by Turner later referred to the sighting as an unidentified flying object, but that does not mean its origins were extraterrestrial. Stiles said UFO researchers often call the events of October 4th, 1967 the night of the UFOs because there were multiple sightings in Nova Scotia, including in Wedgeport, Sambro and Halifax. But what happened in Shag Harbour eclipsed the others. Stiles said he saw an orange orb over Halifax Harbour that same night. Stephanie Wickens said her dad wasn't always comfortable telling his story. Some people were like, oh, that didn't happen, it's not true, even though there were so many witnesses, she said, and I think he just kind of got out of telling it. And here's a clipping saying that something happened, basically. Something hit the water. And the object described as being in excess of 60 feet in diameter and carried 4 white lights. So there we go, so that's a bit, a detailed description. When she was growing up, her dad was vague about what he saw, but when she was around 16, she remembers being at the family's hunting camp when he finally shared his story. That's a very Canadian, North American, whatever thing, hunting camp. Anyway. For a long time when I was little, he'd be like, oh, it was a plane crash. But then as I got older, he's like, I don't know what it was, said Stephanie Wickens. Laurie Wickens spent much of his working life in the fishing industry, mostly as a fisherman. In his later years, he was heavily involved with the Shag Harbour UFO Incident Society, the non-profit that runs a museum and an annual UFO conference. Oh, there's a ticket or whatever. Oh, it's a postmark. There we go, it's a postmark. Honouring the Shag Harbour UFO. Even showing a UFO on it, look. She said her dad could come across as gruff but had a heart of gold and would make friends wherever he went. Sorry, it's down on 60. He says, I think Michalak was a guy who touched a landed saucer and got burnt, also from a blast of heat from it. So it is ringing a bell. It is ringing a bell. I'd have to look it up. Why would a UFO have lights on it? Are they trying to avoid hitting other UFOs? Who knows? It could be part of the propulsion system or whatever, or just the way it works. No idea. No idea. It's technology far beyond our ken, Keith. Or something. Where were we? Stephanie Wickens said her father would often get calls from strangers when the museum was closed or during the off-season. He'd be like, yeah, give me 5 minutes, and he'd go open it up for them, she said. In 2018, the Royal Canadian Mint started a coin series called Canada's Unexplained Phenomena. The first was the Falcon Lake incident in Manitoba. That rings a bell as well. There's a link. I will open it up and I'll check it in a bit. Souvenirs on display at the Shag Harbour thingy. Interpretive Centre, there we go. Stiles said Wickens contacted the Mint and told them they needed to do a coin for Shag Harbour, which was released in 2019. Stiles first interviewed Wickens as a researcher, but the pair grew to become close friends. He said Wickens saw the Shag Harbour incident as an important part of the community's history. Like I said, there's more to it than what this article has gone into. His effort was to make it a living, breathing thing again, that people would drive down there and they'd let the story seep into their bones, said Stiles. And I think he accomplished that in spades. So this was basically, it's an obituary in it to Laurie Wickens. So rest in peace, Laurie Wickens, who passed away at the age of 76. There he is. There he is. So there we go. Yes, the Shag Harbour incident is very interesting. Like I said, it's not that I've really got into, and I know roughly what happened, but I've not delved into it. I'm just looking at this. The Falcon Lake incident. It does ring. Oh, right, yes, it's that one. It's the fella It's that one. It's the Stefan Michalak that Starman 60's been on about. Yes, sorry, I'll share this. It's this one that Starman 60's just talked about. The Stefan Michalak case, where he got these burns. There you go, in this weird pattern on him. So there we go. So yes, that's that. I will put a link for this in the description as well if you want to read that. Right, we'll move on. We will move on to the next story, but I'm going to have a little drinky first. There we go. That's what's the next story. Let's wet me whistle. Right, this next one. Where's this next one from? The Independent, the British Independent website. Dr. Phil reveals the White House had him review UFO files to see how the public would react to them. Dr. Phil claims the files he has seen reveal a sprawling government cover-up about UFOs, reports Josh Marcus in San Francisco. And there's some of the images from previous batches of the releases. Right, here we go. What's that there? Can I get rid of that? Oh, there we go, close. There we go. TV personality, is that big enough? I'll make it bigger. There we go. TV personality Dr. Phil claims the Trump administration tapped him to review government files about UFOs before they're released to the public. Dr. Phil, an ally of the president and member of the administration's Religious Liberty Committee, told News Nation that the White House sought him out to provide his commentary on the files, which included scrutinising how the public might react to learning that humans are somewhere different in the food chain of the universe. People wouldn't care less. You'd get some people that'd freak out, but like 99% of people would be like, whatever. Does it affect me? No. Then whatever. That's what most people would be like. I think the reason they're giving me access to this is because they want me doing exactly what I'm doing, he told the programme Reality Check. I forgot his name now. I'm blanking. Anyway, Ross Coulthard. There we go, he does Reality Check, doesn't he? In an episode that released on Tuesday. I have maintained independence in what I'm doing. They're not scripting me, they're not telling me what to say and not say. And some might argue, well, that's what he would say, even if he's been told what to say. But anyway. Starman 60 says, old Major Donald Kehoe argued UFOs had hit our aircraft by accident, if I remember rightly. There's the... I can't remember the bloody names, I'm terrible. Captain, can't remember. That, his plane crashed, didn't it? Allegedly after chasing a UFO. Is that what he's on about? They could do the DNA testing and shout, "You are the father." Yes, they could. To an alien. Then there'd be a big fight. No, it's not Jerry Springer, is it? Where were we? The Independent has contacted the White House for comment. Having allegedly reviewed the files, Dr. Phil said he was convinced they reveal a government cover-up about the truth behind UFO sightings, including government agents treating President Trump like a temp employee. Well, they are, aren't the presidents? Presidents and their staff that they appoint are the temp employees. There's the other government, isn't there? The permanent government, the civil servants that are there all the time. They're the ones really running the country, aren't they? It's same over here. Anyway, and not sharing their full knowledge with him. And there's Dr. Phil looking, I don't know, nervous, bilious. And there's Trump looking like Trump does. That infuriates me, he said. How dare they do that? I don't think that's right, and I think we deserve better. No, can't handle the truth. He added that he's concerned about the moral... Man, that's a great film, by the way. A Few Good Men. Great film. He added that he's concerned about the moral and psychological impact of releasing information about UFOs to the public, which could prompt everything from spiritual crises to doomsday scams. It wouldn't. There'd be some stuff, but, it wouldn't be, a terrible. It won't be the end of the world. But there's always somebody trying to make a buck or just get famous or just to stir up trouble. There's always somebody. We've seen that tonight in the chat. There's always somebody. I think it needs to be provided with context, and I think that the American public is prepared to handle that, he continued. I think we as a government need to be prepared to help those that have a difficult time with it. Under the Trump administration, the federal government has released, it's now 5 batches, I'm not going to say Trump, just hate that word, of materials about UFOs or unidentified anomalous phenomena, UFOs, as the government refers to them, most recently this month. So it's 5 now. The files pulled from agencies including the Pentagon, NASA and CIA detailed years' worth of incidents, including a 2025 encounter in which a military sensor tracked an area of contrast resembling a 6-pointed star over the Yellow Sea near China. Some information in the releases had already been disclosed to the public in the past. UFO researchers say that, by the way, the 6-pointed star, I don't think that was the actual shape there, isn't about that. I think that's, an artifact. I think it's just a really bright object. It could be a flare or something like that, because you see this smoke trail. So I think it's like a flare that's just blowing out the camera, not the camera, the sensor on the camera, causing a flare effect. So there you go. How's that for debunking? But I've got to say how I see it. UFO researchers say the releases have largely fallen flat because they're mostly crap, to be honest, and haven't represented a major change in public knowledge about UAPs. Unless you're Richard Dolan and he loves them. He gets really excited and they're bloody rubbish. But anyway. It's nothing new. Donald R. Schmidt, an investigator at Roswell, someone else I've met and is really nice, if a bit intense. As intense as Donald Schmidt. But anyway, New Mexico's International UFO Museum and Research Center told the New York Times earlier this month it's the same game that they have played all these years. Once again, we're getting the carrot dangled in front of us. The administration has faced similar criticisms that it hasn't lived up to disclosure promises around the JFK, Martin Luther King and Epstein files. Oh, is that it? So there we go. And then there's some chat. They're probably not saying anything, but whatever. There we go. Dr. Phil thinks it's a cover-up. So there we go. So it must be. If Dr. Phil says it is. I looked it up what his name is and I can't bloody remember. But never mind. That's the one. Yes, thank you, Starman60th. I'm thinking of the Captain Thomas Mantell. Yes. He crashed climbing too high, chasing a UFO. Yes. That's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you. Keith says the Chinese would be making UFO toys and the Americans would be putting huge tariffs on them. They probably are already. They probably are. They interviewed the Loch Ness Monster and he said it was all bunky. The Loch Ness Monster exists as well. That's. I don't have many things, in like my what they call my bucket list of things to do. But one of them is I want to go to Loch Ness. I mean, I'm in the same country. Well, sort of. I'm in England. Loch Ness is in Scotland. We're connected, but whatever. I want to go to Loch Ness, but it's probably never going to happen. But anyway, I think I mentioned that recently in another stream. Probably my last UFO one. Probably got on about it. Anyway, right, moving on. To Lincolnshire in the UK. There it is. From Lincolnshire World, holidaymaker speaks out about alarming UFO sighting over Lincolnshire Beach. Here we go. People laughed at me when I told them, but I know what I saw, says the person. Justin says, yeah, you did. Just go, my friend. I can't just go. That's the trouble. But anyway, I would like to. So I'll make that bigger. Always the text is too small, isn't it? Right, these are the words of a man who claims he was left buzzing after witnessing a UFO over the Lincolnshire coast. Lincolnshire is a county near Yorkshire. It's on the east. Well, it's got it's on the east side of England. Pardon me. And there we go. Paul Rawlinson is speaking out about his sighting after almost 20 years of ridicule and scepticism from those he shared his story with. The now 46-year-old says he was on holiday with his family in Mablethorpe in the summer of, which is on the coast, in the summer of 2009 and the North Sea coast when he caught sight of a fast-moving black triangle coming across the sea at incredibly high speed. Is it Mablethorpe on the North Sea? Is it on the Humber Estuary? I can't remember. Anyway. Was it filmed with an iPhone 12? We had loads, didn't we? Last time that we filmed on an iPhone for some reason. Anyway. I imagine that's a recreation of what he says he saw. The sea off Mablethorpe. Is it though? Do you reckon? I bet it into it. It's just the sea from just anywhere. Anyway, staying at a seafront caravan park in the resort, Paul's encounter with the strange object came about by sheer chance. After a day out on the beach on the Saturday, we all went and stayed in the caravan watching TV, he explains. Me and my wife were in one room and my family in the others. We heard arguing on the site and I went to look out the window but couldn't see what was going on. Paul, who was visiting the resort from Rochester, not Rochester, New York, it'd be Rochester, wherever Rochester is. I don't even know where it is. Where the hell's Rochester? I don't know. I will look that up. Rochester, UK. Where are you? It is in... it's in Kent. I'm going to say actually, I thought it's down south somewhere. But there we go. Anywho, Starman60 says there's an ancient Loch Ness movie, Secret of the Loch, worth seeing once anyway. All right, I'll look that up. See if we can see if it's on YouTube or something. But I said I'd love to see Nessie, if possible. But one of my favourite films is the film Loch Ness with Ted Danson and Ian Holm. Great film. I love that film. Yes, that's the black triangle I was talking about, says Keith. Right. Where were we? Paul, who was visiting the resort from Rochester, said the immediate view was of the neighbouring caravan which faced the beachfront. It was while scanning the area for the source of the disturbance that something else caught his eye. I was looking up to the sky as it was really clear and I saw a couple of shooting stars, he recalls. All of a sudden this triangle-shaped aircraft went over me so fast I called my wife, come to the window, but it was so quick that within seconds it was gone. The sky behind it went from clear to cloudy and there was no sound at all. It must have been going thousands of miles an hour. That's one of my little pet peeves. People these days using of instead of have. But anyway, whatever. I still, I'm not disbelieving him because of that. What's going on here? Go away. And there's... Paul used AI to recreate the black triangle UFO he witnessed on the night. Okie dokie. You didn't need AI to do that, really, did you? But never mind. Paul described the object as twice the size of a fighter jet, with a light at each corner of the triangle. I was buzzing at how lucky I was to see it, he adds, but the sentiment was not shared by his family. I ran into the other rooms and I told my brothers I'd just seen a UFO and they all took the piss out of me laughing, he recalls. We went home that Sunday evening, still with 8 of my family laughing. I should write a book about it. Starman60 says, I've seen the Ted Danson Nessie movie. It's a good one. It is. I love it. I think it's really good. It's one of those nice films. It is. I love Loch Ness. Anyway. Acknowledging the long-standing stigma around the UFO subject, he added, I'm not bothered about that. I know what I saw. Great documentary. So I didn't care if people believed it or not. Paul's sighting certainly wasn't the only one in Lincolnshire that year, with reports of UFOs Yeah, but what's that? Being spotted over Connie's Home wind farm near Louth the night before one of the turbines was damaged. Despite the official account stating the turbine was damaged by a faulty bolt, dozens of residents reported seeing unusual things in the skies, including glowing orbs and UFOs described as tentacled. Ooh. Whilst... Oh, can I hear that word as well? That whilst. Just say while. Whilst. Not the bloody 14th century. While trying to find more information on what I'd seen, I read that a wind turbine's blade had been sheared off, adds Paul. There was no debris to indicate what could have hit it, but those stories prove that something was out there. Where are we? Indeed, 2009 was the year that UK's leading UFO expert Nick Pope told the Louth Leader newspaper that Lincolnshire was a hotspot for such activity. In the years that followed, Paul began to research the topic and was reassured by the knowledge excuse me, he was not alone in this particular sighting, with thousands of others across the globe reporting strange black triangles in the sky. Justin says, the black triangles always remind me of the horror movie The Void. Very underrated movie. It's good as The Void. I've only seen it once, but I did enjoy it. A good cosmic horror film. And speaking of black triangles, hang on. Black triangles feature heavily in Mercury Rapids. Oh, there's even one on the cover, look. There's also regular flying saucers in it as well. Silvery ones. I forgot where I want now. What I saw has been seen by many in the world, he said. While some in the field believe black triangles are secret military aircraft, I'm sure some of them are. That's there's the famous TR-3B and all that, isn't there? And Aurora and all them. I'm sure they've moved on since then. Others say their flight characteristics and rapid acceleration point to a technological capability beyond the realms of known physics. Where are we? Keith says, Yorkshire Geek merchandise on the front. The picture of a space alien, and on the back it says, keep. That proved away from me. You'd sell millions. Okie dokie. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Occasionally get I think my latest, what they call it, royalty payment for something like 50 pence or something, like 26 pence or something like that. Oh dear. Anyway, Starman60 says, where's that gone? There we go. Some old-time UFO people are interesting. Albert K. Bender pretty much started Men in Black stories, Flying Saucers and The Three Men. Easy to find in different formats, probably online also. Yes, that rings a bell as well. Product placement, love it. got to. Star Probe. Okay. Oh, you're on about. Anyway, where were we? I forgot where I was. Oh, known physics. With more recent developments in the field, such as the US congressional hearings on UFOs since 2023, and Trump releasing Department of War images and footage of strange objects in the sky this year, the topic has never been hotter or less taboo than it is now. Have you had an encounter with a UFO or UAP? Email gemma.gad@jpress.co.uk. So there we go. So good old Paul. I don't deny. I'm not saying he didn't see anything. He probably did, to be completely honest. What's his name? I've forgotten already. Paul Rawlinson. There we go. So a black triangle. Wish I'd seen something. A lot of bloody adverts on this thing, and I've got an ad blocker running as well. Unbelievable. Keith says, did they ever figure out the crop circles? Not really. No. That said that I forgot the names of them. They were Dan and Dave or something like that. No, that's the Game of Thrones chaps, isn't it? Doug and Dave, wasn't it? There were Doug and Dave that appeared saying, "Oh, we made them all," but they can't have done. Particularly the ones in other countries with boards and ropes. It's a load of nonsense. No, they never figured them out. I imagine there probably are, people, clever people have planned them out, with computer programs and stuff to plan them all out and all that. But some of them are weird that just appear like within, sometimes within minutes, isn't it? But anyway. Where are we? Justy says, but you wrote books and got published. Well, no, I published them myself. I didn't get published. More than I ever did. Never really looked into how to do it. Well, the Mercury Rapids ones, which, because there were 3 originally, and now I've just sort of like put them all together. So this is like a trilogy in one volume. Originally published through iUniverse, and that's how you have to pay for that. It's a self-publishing thing. But this one I've done through Amazon. And it's super easy. It is super easy. Justin says, crop circles are real. Not all are, but a lot are. Yes. Well, it real as in, they're a mystery. They're a real mystery, some of them. Because weird things happens in crop circles. I've seen a crop circle. I've seen a couple of crop circles, but I reported on one where I can't remember. Was it for the magazine UFO Data or for something else? I can't remember. But my mate's wife saw one. She was out driving and she said, "There's a crop circle that's been in this field near Huddersfield, which is a local town near me." So I went out. It took me ages to find it, and eventually I did find it, but I couldn't get a good view of it. But I did take some photos and stuff, but they weren't very good. I couldn't get to the field, and I couldn't get a good angle of it. But it was just a circle. It wasn't one of these ornate patterns. It was just a circle in the field, a crop circle. But yeah, it could have been something and nothing. It could have been something the farmer did. I don't know. Justy says, "Hey, you're an author. I respect that a lot." I used to be. I haven't written anything for donkey's years. I keep thinking about trying to do something else. I did start writing another, a sequel to Mercury Rapids called Children of the One, and but I've not got very far into it. But anyway, right. So where are we? Moving on to the next article. Starmer60 says, was just seeing Crop Circle TV show earlier today. Synchronicity again. It happens a lot. It's weird, isn't it? It is weird. Synchronicity and coincidence. You'll be talking about something. Sometimes you're just even thinking about something, and then bang, you'll see like a news item about it, or something will just happen connected with that. And you think, I'm just thinking about that for the first time in years and years. It is weird. There's no such thing as coincidence. The universe is a strange place, and we're all connected somehow. I'm getting all hippie now, aren't I? Anyway, we'll move on to the BBC. Michael Sheen stars in comedy about UFOs after claiming he saw one over hometown. And there's the great Michael Sheen. He's amazing actor, is Michael Sheen. He's been in loads of stuff. Michael Sheen. He's been in everything from Tron to the Underworld films. He played Brian Clough in The Damned United, great film about Leeds United, marching on together and all that. What else has he played? He played Tony Blair, hasn't he? A great actor, Michael Sheen. Anyway, there he is. Grew up in Port Talbot. That's how you pronounce it. You don't say Port Talbot. You say Port Talbot. I don't know why, but that's what they say. Katrina Aitken reports. This is from the middle of July. Some of these articles are a bit older because I haven't done a news thing for a month or so, have I? Right, where were we? Make that bigger. There we go. Michael Sheen set to star in a Welsh comedy film about a UFO sighting after sharing his own encounter with a phalanx of lights in his hometown. Out There celebrates the secret the secret extraterrestrial history of West Wales through the tale of a rebellious 16-year-old astronomy enthusiast who spots a UFO over her sleepy seaside town and ropes in her sceptical best friend and an eccentric ufologist to uncover the truth. It's about the Ripperston Farm incident. That's a good story. There's a good book about it called The Uninvited. Can't remember who wrote it. Clive Harold. Just came to me. Never remember names, but that one just came into me. It's a great... I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a great story. It's the Ripperston Farm incident. That were in Wales. In Pembrokeshire. Anyway, where were we? It will premiere at Edinburgh Film Festival in August and features a host of Welsh actors. Sheen has previously spoken about a series of spooky experiences in Potolbert, South Wales, which convinced him the town was very UFO-y. Is that a still from the film? Yes, it is. So somebody's getting abducted, aren't they? When Sheen returned to the area with his family in 1977, having lived for a while in Liverpool, it was told that his neighbour had seen a UFO hovering over her back garden. Justin says Sheen is a good actor. He is amazing. One of my favourites, to be honest. Starman60 says, I've had a few short stories in semi-professional magazines, done better non-fiction essays, book reviews, so on. Very good, very good. Probably more noteworthy than anything I've done. I bet it is. No, it's got to be. It's got to be. Anyway. Where were we? I got told this at the age of 8 about this woman who lived next door, who was clearly very sensible. So 8, so born in 1969 then. I thought you were older than me. Maybe he's not. So I totally believed this. Excuse me. He told the Scarred for Life podcast in 2025. I didn't even know they had a podcast. I follow Scarred for Life on Facebook. You know, they do, things about TV shows, commercials, and movies and stuff that we all watched as kids, and there was like public information films that scarred you for life and stuff like that. They do that. I didn't even know they had a podcast. I will have to look that up. Anyway, then at 12 years old, after getting off the school bus, he recalled seeing something coming round the edge of the mountain in the distance. I stopped and this light came out, and then 2 lights behind it, and then 3 lights behind, a sort of phalanx of lights coming from behind the mountain and floating out over the sea, he said. As I'm standing there, I'm thinking, those are UFOs. I'm fairly certain those are UFOs. That did happen to me once, I must admit. I thought I saw some UFOs over in the distance. We used to have a house that overlooked, I'm sure I've told this story before, that overlooked the fields and hills and stuff over the heading towards the Pennines. And one day I saw some lights in the distance, so just above the horizon. These a bit like the lights we saw in that release earlier, that 2 headlight things look like that. And I thought, what's that? And I'm looking through my binoculars, and it just like these lights were just there, and then some more appeared above them, and they just seemed to like just move about like that for a bit, and then dip down below the horizon. And I thought, oh, that were weird. Was that a UFO? I even started filling out a report that we're going to send off to Beaufort. But then I debunked my own story, because I think that the next day or a few days later, it was a clearer day, because it must have been a bit misty or something over in the distance, on the distant horizon. It was clearer, and I got binoculars out, and I could actually see where I'd seen those lights, and it was actually a road that I couldn't see before, and the cars had been, the lights had been cars with their headlights on, but I couldn't see them. I couldn't see the road or anything, just the car headlights, and they seemed to be above the horizon, but they weren't. So there you go. Anyway, so you've got to be careful sometimes. Cool Starman 60, I respect it a lot. I've about stories I wrote or first drafts. I've got lots of unfinished stories. Oh dear. Anyway, where were we? But I knew, goes on Michael Sheen, but I knew if I went into the house they might disappear, so I just stood there transfixed, and I watched them come all out all over the ocean, and then they stopped, and then they all disappeared. No one believed me, obviously. I have since heard that other people have seen things in Potolbert. I should be doing this in a Welsh accent, shouldn't I? Look you, boyo. So I think there's some things... I can't even read in Welsh. So I think there's some sort of thing going on there. I can't do it. I can't do Welsh. Out there is the debut feature film from director Simon Reininks, who said the film couldn't ever be set anywhere else but Wales. After my mum passed away, I found myself returning frequently to West Wales, where our family is from, he told BBC Wales. I wanted to get something in that landscape as a way of reconnecting with her and to write about grief with humour and a lightness of touch. He should have done the Ripperston Farm story. Anyway, it is produced by Thibaut Travers of Sweet Dough Films and Katie Dolan of Bad Cat, and stars Welsh actor Nerys Amber Stocks as main character Maz, who becomes convinced that the mysterious UFO sightings hold the key to her father's disappearance. There's a bit of behind-the-scenes footage or shot. Obviously in some sort of council estate there, because they look very much like council houses. Reinings added that learning about UFO sightings in West Wales in the 1970s also inspired the project. Oh, is it going to mention it? Don't know. I love the idea that this quiet, unassuming place had this secret extraterrestrial history, and suddenly a landscape that felt deeply personal also had this strange cosmic grandeur and an innate sense of people longing for the unknown. He said, I think there's a particular openness in Welsh culture to mystery, magic and folklore, and the film sort of becomes a joyous celebration of that in a lot of ways. Hang on, where are we? Oh, you're about six. Oh, yeah, you have about 6 stories. I'm typing, watching and cooking. We've all done that. And we've all got sausage fingers as well. Dear. Anyway, where were we? Reinings, it's a weird name, isn't it? Is it Welsh? I don't know. Seems like, Icelandic or something, doesn't it? Said he had always wanted to set a film on the, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ceredigion coast, I don't know, as it's my favourite place in the world. For practical reasons, our main shoot took place around Bridgend, Nelson and Porthcawl, close to where most of our cast and crew are based, and offer brilliant locations. But we also did some filming in Ceredigion, I'm probably mispronouncing that. And that was when the film really began to feel like the one I'd carried in my head for 7 years, he said. He looks familiar. Oh, yeah, Game of Thrones star, Ewan Rion. He played, he was right bad and wasn't he? I forgot what his bloody name is now. He got eaten by his own dogs. Him. Played him, didn't he? Typical unreliable Welsh weather was a major challenge for the cast and crew who shot the film in October. We became convinced we were going to be completely rained off and were obsessively checking multiple weather apps and choosing whichever forecast frightened us the least, said Reinings. Every day of pre-production it rained, and then when we started shooting it barely rained at all, which felt miraculous. Justin says, I have a vampire series started, a horror story, a space adventure, kind of like Exo Squad. Cool, do it. Oh, pardon me. Hang on. Where are we? Stammers, it says, about writers, the movie The Whole Wide World isn't bad. About Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft is mentioned a couple of times. They were regular pen pals. Yes, I've heard that. That they were, friends. Cool, not seeing that. Keith says, I did notice as a child that all the Arthur treaters, fish and chip shops mysteriously disappeared over a 6-month period. Okay, is that an American fish and chip place? I don't know. Oh dear. Arthur treaters, Siri won't let me say treachers. Oh, yeah, are you saying, are you uttering using your voice to do your chats? Cool. I wouldn't even know where to start doing that. I wouldn't. That's why it says star, because he's doing a correction. Right, get it. I get it now. Don't worry about it, Keith. It's fine. Miraculous, that's where we're up to. It was unseasonably dry, so I could be like now. So I can only assume, excuse me, we have the aliens and their advanced weather control technology to thank for that. Ha ha ha, I imagine he laughed. The feel-good film about belief, finding meaning and coming to terms with loss also stars an array of other Welsh actors, including Tom Moyer as co-lead, as well as Dunkirk's Aneurin Barnard and Game of Thrones star Iwan Rheon. I'm probably mispronouncing all those names. It was very important to me that the casting felt authentic, said Reinings. He added the casting directors worked tirelessly to bring an exciting ensemble together that was almost entirely Welsh. He admitted that Sheen's character, Shifty Gruff, was written with him in mind. It was a total long shot, but like a UFO believer, I held on to the possibility of making contact, he said. To have all these actors in my debut feature was out of this world. I bet he's not in it much, Michael Sheen. I bet he's a blink and you miss it. He were there for a day. Bet he were. Bet he were. Look forward to that. Is it going to be on the BBC then? Because BBC's, reporting on it. We will see, won't we? Right, so Windgrace, it says, they brought Arthur Treachers back in my area, but I'm not sure they lasted long. Owned by Salvatore's for a bit. Oh, right. I didn't know there were fish and chip things in America. And Keith says, okay, I'm going to be back up to the mothership and take leave of this broadcast. See you all later. Thank you. Star again. Asterisk Bean. Thank you, Keith, for dropping in. It's much appreciated. I know Keith from the Retro Nerd Girl watch parties and stuff, so go and subscribe to Retro Nerd Girl's channel. Oh, crikey. And we'll bump into Keith there as well. So I'll see you later, Keith. Starman60 says, I think they were Arthur Treacher. Yeah, all gone now, I believe. Because, Americans don't know good food. Fish and chips, it's amazing. Some mushy peas or chip shop curry. That's what you want. With bits on. Justice says, love Lovecraft type stories. Yes, so do I. I've not read all of them, but, I've got it on my Kindle somewhere. I've got, complete Lovecraft. I've read quite a few of them. Like I say, At the Mountains of Madness is amazing. How has that never been made into a film? The Thing is the closest. John Carpenter's The Thing's the closest we've come in it. But that needs making into a film. Seriously. But anyway. Arthur Treachers are awesome. Only like 2 left now. Love me Long John Silver's also. See, I'll talk about American fish and chip stuff. And Keith says, Yorkshire Geek's an excellent modern... I don't do anything. I don't do anything. It's all Keith's work. Anyway, Justin says, 3 left. We're still on about fish and chips. America loves fish and chips because it's amazing. Because it's fried. I'm hungry now. You've made me hungry. Anyway, so look forward to this film. I hope it's good. I hope it's not taking the mickey. I don't mind a comedy about UFOs and stuff, as long as it's not taking the mickey. It's like Alien Autopsy. That was a good example of a comedic UFO story, but it also took the UFO part of it, even though they were faking the autopsy stuff. That seriously, it's a good film. Is UFO Alien Autopsy? Starman60 says, I agree. At the Mountains of Madness be a great movie. Yes, Guillermo del Toro were going to do it, weren't they? They even did some test footage, didn't they? Which I don't think were that good, but never mind. But they even did some test footage of it, but it would be a great film. Right, we'll move on. We're nearly done. This is the last of the articles, and then we'll move on to the UFO videos, which are probably AI. But anyway, right, so last one. This one was a geek spin via Yahoo News. Scientists spot fleet of UFOs near the moon. Report says Ukrainian astronomers claim over 20 unidentified objects have been spotted near the moon. And I'm guessing this is showing where they showed them. Can we make that bigger? Oh, wow, we can. Still can't see them. Still can't see them. Anyway, never mind. Marked objects near the moon. Okie dokie. Right, so, hang on, before I get going. Justin says, we have fast food fish and chips along with more traditional style. I like mine to be haddock or skate. Pardon me, cod is good too. But haddock and skate are best. I've never had skate, I don't think. But haddock is my favourite fish and chips fish. A lot of southerners in the UK like cod. I'm not a cod fan. It's a bit too watery for me. Haddock's firm. I like nice firm fish. So there we go. Which is why I kind of like bassa as well. You know, it's like catfish or something in it, bassa. Which is, it's not as nice as haddock, obviously, but it'll do. But anyway. Oh, there we go. Not a nice catfish. Like Tucker the Third. Yeah, see, like pan-fried catfish, didn't it? It did look nice, I must admit, when he had it on that station in, what was it, Dead Stop. Is that what they called it? Something like that, wasn't it? That episode. It did look nice, I must admit. I'm getting hungry now, you lot. Right, where were we? I met that bigger. That's the usual utterance. There we go. More than 20 unidentified objects have been spotted near the moon, according to astronomers from the main astronomical observatory, MAO. Could have picked a better name, couldn't they? There was the chairman of that. Of the National Academy of Sciences, NAS, of Ukraine. The findings published in a non-peer-reviewed preprint, UFO Dynamics on the Moon. Why is it non-peer-reviewed? Do you think it'll just get thrown out if we try and get this peer-reviewed? Anyway. Describe objects as large as 25 miles in diameter. It's worth noting that independent experts, as well as the NAS, National Academy of Science, of Ukraine itself, have previously criticised the team's methodology. So there we go. So we're not off to a good start, are we? Particularly noting that distance calculation errors can easily lead to the misidentification of nearby ordinary objects, such as insects, birds or drones, as massive high-speed craft. Starman 60 says, Trip Tucker the Third. I miss Enterprise, so do I. It should have gone on for a 5th season. It's my favourite Star Trek series, Enterprise. It really is. I can't wait to get onto it. I've got to get Voyager out of the way, but anyway. The researchers divided the sightings into 2 categories. Atmospheric objects that appear to hold position, which the team suggests could indicate a base station or checkpoint, and what they term continental objects seen moving across the lunar surface. Nothing smaller than 9 to 15 miles across was included in the analysis. UFOs are observed on Earth and in near-Earth space, the study states. UFOs can reach Earth in 20 minutes. On Earth, they manifest as UAP phenomena. UFOs demonstrate intelligent behaviour and can be regarded as a technologically advanced civilization, the authors add. I'm guessing that's just from a translation. I don't know, because it sounds a bit iffy, doesn't it? But anyway. Justin says, catfish is good, gotta do it Cajun style. Okie dokie. As I said, the only catfish I've had is that bassa, which I'm told is like Vietnamese catfish. I don't know, but anyway. The researchers propose that these objects originate from a hidden base on the moon, a hypothesis. There's been a lot of that lately, though. I'm sure I've seen more stories about the moon and UFOs together lately. Something's going to happen soon, isn't it? Connected with the moon and UFOs. It genuinely is. Anyway, the researchers propose that these objects originate from a hidden base on the moon, a hypothesis that leads them to speculate whether astronauts from the upcoming Artemis mission may encounter it. We'll see, if they ever get there. The theory itself is built on the team's analysis of the object's behaviour, specifically their brightness fluctuations and extreme speeds are what drew attention. The bigger objects were clocked at around 11 kilometres per second, about 24,606 miles per hour, producing centrifugal acceleration near 2,200 centimetres squared, a force more than double that of Earth's gravity. So 2G then, is that what you're trying to say? Stammer City says, Jolene Blaylock helped Enterprise a lot, I admit. I haven't seen her in much else. She was in Stargate, wasn't she? SG-1. I think she's in a version of Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, right. I've not seen that. A Moonfall event. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? It's a great film. It's rubbish, but great film. Didn't a space rocket crash? A SpaceX rocket crash into the moon? Yes, it did. An upper stage from a Falcon 9 crashed into the moon. And there's photos. I think the South Korean satellites going around the moon took photos of the crash site, didn't they? Yeah. Loads of stuff's crashed. Loads of our stuff has crashed into the moon. Lots of Apollo stuff crashed into the moon and all that. It happens a lot. Where were we? To put these speeds into perspective, this is comparable to NASA's Space Launch System (SLS), which reaches roughly 24,500 miles per hour during its transit to the moon. However, such a significant observation remains uncorroborated at the time of writing. No other observatory have reported similar object sightings. So there you go. So something's going on here. Why are they? Why can they see it and nobody else if these things are like 9 to 11 miles across or kilometres? Some are 25 miles in diameter. Other people would have seen them, wouldn't they? You would think. And at that size, even, amateur astronomers would see them, wouldn't they? But, why is just these Ukrainian ones? So there's something amiss there. So I'm not putting much stock in that story, but it's interesting anyway. It is interesting. Just as during Apollo, we crashed stuff into it. We think the moon could be hollow. It rang like a bell. Yes, that's the story, isn't it? That the moon rang like a bell. The thing that the moon, the interior of the moon, although it's not hollow, but it's kind of like filled with rubble. It's not like solid. It's not like a solid core of like bedrock and all that. It's like very rubbly with cavities and stuff in it, which is probably why it, when stuff crashes into it, there's probably a lot of seismic, things going through it and through the moon, isn't there? Which makes it, I don't think it actually rings like a bell, but it'll be like the seismic waves, won't it? And all that. Some early moon probes slammed into it. Yes, Ranger probes and Russian stuff as well. Soviet stuff, old Apollo landers and stuff smashed into the moon. Yes, it did. So like I said, this Falcon 9, it's because it's SpaceX, I suppose, and Elon Musk, and it got the news media's attention, didn't it? But anyway, right. We will move on to the UFO. Stop playing. Not ready for you to the UFO stuff, new videos. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, I don't know. I think these are quite long, some of these, but anyway, whatever. Is this one? I don't know. I'll just play it, see what happens. UFO sighting number 207. Here we go.
The world is extremely mysterious and strange. From unbelievable UFO sightings to unexplained phenomena, everything here will intrigue you and make you question reality. After every piece of footage, another one will be even more unbelievable and make you scratch your head. And there's footage hidden between these that just breaks the rules, even for UFO sightings. So watch till the end. Before we start, if you enjoy this UFO compilation video, please hit like and subscribe.
I'd really appreciate having you for all these articles and
this one was extremely bright, almost too intense to look at directly. Recently captured over Florida, a man driving down an empty road recorded this extremely bright UFO anomaly, which remains totally unsolved.
If it's Florida, I'm thinking, could it be a rocket launch? That's what I'm thinking. The trail, the vapour or whatever left by a rocket launch. So they can look peculiar, particularly if they're catching the moonlight or the sunlight or whatever.
There was a very mysterious cloud, and inside it, an extremely bright light. Far brighter and far closer than the moon, glowing from within the cloud and lighting up a huge part of the atmosphere. Below it, we can see what's probably the actual moon, looking small by comparison. Some people believe what we're seeing is a huge plasmoid phenomenon, while others call it simply a glowing UFO. Whatever it is, it's anything but normal or easily explainable. What's your take on this footage?
Fasten the bloody lid.
Up next, shared in January 2026, a man in Chile heard a helicopter overhead, and what he witnessed left him stunned because the helicopter was chasing what appeared to be a crashing UAP.
Could it be something hanging from the bottom of the helicopter? You can't see the wire.
According to sources, it was a military helicopter pursuing this unknown UFO. The entire scene looks completely unsolved. The object appears to be going down, with visible smoke trailing from it, and its round shape resembles a classic UFO sphere. An incident like this has never been captured before. Watching the footage, the smoke suggests it's descending, but not in a straight line, almost as if it's tumbling, which strongly hints that it's crashing. What do you think that object in front of the helicopter really is? Recorded in 2025 over Prague, this footage caught a lot of attention when people spotted a perfectly white cube-shaped object hovering against a clear blue sky. They had no idea what it was.
It's perfect cube! Could it be a balloon? There are some weird shaped balloons, aren't there? You know, hot air balloons. There's no gondola underneath it, is there? Or could it be a helium balloon? Maybe from some advertising rig that's got away, or maybe it's connected to something that we don't see.
We can see the object clearly. These people were just relaxing at home like any other day when they noticed this unknown object. It was a perfect cube, pure white, almost as if coated in a matte finish, hovering steadily against the sky. Its size looked roughly like a stack of 20 bread packets. The weightless, stable floating suggests possible controlled movement, which makes its appearance even stranger for a flying object. This remains one of the more mysterious cube-shaped UFO cases out there. What are your thoughts? In 2024, recorded by two friends over Mexico, this footage shows an unbelievable, non-human alien being glowing with green light in their backyard.
Estos güeyes, ¿qué hacen? ¡Ey, ey, ey! ¡Ay, hijo de su puta madre! No mames, vete a la verga, güey. ¿Qué es esa mamá? Esa mamá está más grande. ¿Qué es esa mamá? Está más grandota, está más grande. Se está moviendo. ¡Ey, se está moviendo! Sácate a la verga.
Very entertaining. You never know, though.
The first thing these two
know.
noticed was what looked like an alien head at ground level. Then, suddenly, another being emerged from the ground out of nowhere. This unsettling, unknown creature stood close by in their backyard. What they captured on video was terrifying. A humanoid, alien-like figure staring back at them from a short distance. One of the most striking details is the green light attached to its chest. It almost looks like part of its body, or perhaps some kind of shield. Some say this creature looks like it stepped straight out of a sci-fi movie, and even more unsettling, there were two of them. What exactly did they record here? One of the most watched and convincing pieces of footage online is from 2003, when someone captured a close-up recording of a UFO saucer near the ocean, and I found an enhanced version of it. This footage, possibly recorded near the Pleiades in 2003, shows a metallic UFO saucer
My
with a
camera's
very
gone off.
classic
Oh, you can
design,
hear me.
filmed over the
Don't know
ocean.
why my camera's gone off.
Some sources claim the person who recorded it actually saw the object emerge from the ocean before capturing it on camera. The version we're seeing here has been slightly enhanced, but the
That's a
original
Billy Meyer
was
one,
just
that,
as
isn't it? It's a
mind-blowing.
beam ship.
Many believe this footage is authentic simply because of its age and raw quality. What are your thoughts on this classic UFO saucer footage? Next up, footage that stayed hidden for a while. Captured over a farm in South America in 2020, where we can clearly see something moving across the sky, unmistakably resembling a UAP.
UFO. Pagi-pagi ada UFO.
Bear with me.
Ada UFO, guys.
It was early on a foggy morning when this farmer noticed a white UFO drifting through the sky, seemingly trying to blend into the surrounding mist. But he managed to capture it on camera. According to his account, he first felt a sudden vibration, and when he looked up, he assumed it was just a cloud and ignored it. But as it drew closer, the picture became much clearer. It was in fact a pure white flying craft, unlike any known aircraft. Another angle suggests the object wasn't saucer-shaped at all, but elongated. Something about this craft feels genuinely strange. Did you notice anything that might explain more about this footage?
Yes,
This
it
next
does
one
look like
shows
a blip.
exactly
Oh, you can
what
still hear me, 'cause my
camouflage and
camera's gone off and
invisibility
I can't
can
get it
look
to come
like.
back on.
Allegedly recorded over Tennessee, USA on July 16th, 2026, and believed to be the first footage of its kind, showing a triangular object emerging through smoke.
Never seen something like this. What is this? What is this?
As mentioned, this footage is one of a kind. Nothing like it has ever been captured before. The witness first noticed a faint triangular shape forming, which slowly revealed itself using the surrounding fog. It's a surreal moment. While the fog outlines the shape, the object's actual body remains completely invisible. Only the fog reveals its form. Some believe this could be AI generated, while others insist it's real. I'll leave that decision to you. Share your thoughts. This next piece of footage is incredible. Allegedly captured in 1975 during an extraterrestrial visit to a secret base, showing an extreme close-up of a disc-shaped UFO. The footage has an old, grainy quality, and according to insider claims, it shows a flat, disc-shaped UFO entering the frame while rotating, with lights running along its entire edge. Many witnesses from that era reported seeing similar craft. Skeptics argue that if it's genuine, it's more likely an experimental anti-gravity prototype than anything extraterrestrial. Though that raises the question of why a prototype would be lined with lights. Without solid proof, we can't say anything for certain. Is it real or fake? You decide. In 2014, in a rural part of Alaska, near a wooded area, one witness recorded something that doesn't fit any normal explanation, not even by UFO standards.
don't know what's up with my camera. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, say yes in the chat. My cameras have gone off and I don't know why.
Whatever this person witnessed doesn't resemble anything typical, even within UFO sightings. If we try to describe its shape, it looks strange, almost like a wall carved with ancient-looking designs. But walls don't hover or fly. At first, the object appeared to launch with some kind of thrust, then stopped and continued flying without any visible propulsion. It moved erratically before finally descending into the forest below. According to the account, the person recording was already aware that this object appeared in the area from time to time,
You'll have to
though the exact
make do
location
with me not
remains
on camera.
unknown.
I don't. My
What do you
cameras
think we
have
just
two
witnessed
cameras
here?
that are exactly the same. Neither of them are working.
Up next,
I don't know
in
why.
2023, the Pyramid of Giza delivered a UFO
Just
sighting
went off
that
all of a
no one
sudden.
could ignore. Captured by a tourist who spotted something hovering above the pyramid, completely unexpected.
Esto es increíble. Estoy parado aquí, justo al lado de la gran pirámide de Giza, justo a las afueras del Cairo, y literalmente hay un ovni dando vueltas justo encima de la cima de la pirámide ahora mismo. Mira, mira, mira eso. Se está moviendo lentamente. Es como si estuviera escaneando la pirámide o algo así. Nunca he visto algo así en mi vida. Definitivamente no es un helicóptero o un dron. Está completamente en silencio, excepto por ese extraño zumbido. Está sucediendo directamente encima de las pirámides ahora mismo, como si supiera exactamente lo que está haciendo.
The object resembles a large mantis or butterfly-like silhouette with two dark, lobed shapes on top and no other visible details. The footage quality and the recorder's genuine reaction add to its credibility, and the setting, directly above the Pyramid of Giza, makes this case especially intriguing. The person narrating notes that the object moved very slowly, almost as if scanning the pyramid, and didn't behave like any known drone. There was no sound, aside from a faint buzzing he claims to have felt. Many ask why, if sightings like this are happening so openly, the mainstream media never covers them. A pattern worth thinking about.
I'm back.
What's your take on this incredible footage?
No idea what I just did.
Let us know in the comments.
No idea what I just did.
So
My
that's
old
all for this
camera.
video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and
I
subscribe.
missed all that.
I'd really appreciate having you here.
Right. Okay.
See you in the next one. Take care.
See you later, mate. Hey, I hope that were good because I just spent all of that faffing. Right, we'll move on. Shut up. Right, this next one's from Third Phase of Moon, who kind of do my head in. But here they are. Oh, full screen it. There it is. So, 23 minutes. I don't think I'll spend bloody 23 minutes watching this. So I'm just going to spin it on and we'll see what they're showing us. Right, here we go.
Here, take a look at this. The original to the left, I blew it up to the right. You can see how high it is up in the sky to the lower portion of your left. That's original footage. Look how small it is up there. This thing's huge, Brent. What's going on? Yeah, when you get a good close-up, that's when things get very interesting. You see these kind of wings. I think you could count maybe 4 of them going kind of adjacent of the craft. And you can almost see, I think you notice this kind of orb
It's a Galactica
blinking
shuttle.
in and out of whatever seems to be the bottom of this, whatever it is. And it looks metallic. It almost looks like this thing's made out of stainless
Or it's
steel.
the
It looks heavy.
merchantman ship
This is
from Star
amazing
Trek
footage.
3.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that anomalous orb that pops in and out just right below it. We're slowing it down. You see it dissipate in and out. And what we're looking at, it almost looks something out of an Elon Musk SpaceX project, but I don't think so. I don't think SpaceX has this in their assets. I don't see any means of propulsion coming off this thing, any Raptor engines or anything, but I do see that subtle orb just hanging in and out. And look how high it is up in the sky. Once again, the original down on the lower portion to the left, you can see the black dot. There it is. I'm zoomed up all the way, probably about 1,000%. This thing has got to be at least 100 feet in length.
How do you know?
Yeah,
You
look at
know
that thing just
to
remaining
compare it
static.
to.
This thing, it looks like it weighs, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 pounds. It looks heavy as it just kind of rotates too. Now the big question is, what kind of propulsion is keeping this thing up in the sky? Look at
Right, pause it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but it's not really doing anything though, is it? It's just hanging there. But this is weird because it's got these legs here. Look. I don't know. It's a peculiar one. Anyway, we'll move on because I'm not spending 23 minutes on this.
Was zur Hölle ist das?
This is in Germany.
Was
Did
zur
I forgot his name
Hölle
already?
ist das?
Hans-Jürgen Kohler. Look at this one.
What the fuck?
Right, let's get a close-up, blow things up, get a closer look at this object just hovering in the sky. I don't think it's an advertisement banner. It could
looks
be
like one
some
of those,
kind of mocked-up
you know
helium
those plastic things
balloon,
that
but I don't know, man. It's just
put
hanging there.
caps in.
It has this metallic orb sitting
put in a
on
cap
top
gun.
of it, this metallic
You put them in, you
feature.
throw 'em in the
And
land
it's just hovering there,
make a bang.
static in the
Like
sky,
one of them.
right? Yeah, I don't see no tether, and yeah, it looks like a silver dome up on top with this kind of conical bottom to it. It's very strange. You do see
that
a
is-
little
I think
appendage
that-
right
yes, I
there
think
at the
Beardy
bottom,
Brits is
but
right.
I don't see
I think
a
that's a
tether
well,
attached to it.
I don't
This
know.
thing
I
just
think-
seems
I think it's
to
a
be hovering there
hot
right
air
in place.
balloon. Because is that the gondola underneath
Once again,
it?
interesting daylight footage coming into third phase. Buckle up, we've got a lot more videos. Hit that thumbs up. Let's go.
I think that last one was a balloon, a hot air balloon. Is this the one that?
All right, this is coming out of
Angry
China. I
Astronaut
think it's the
looked at.
second video that we've
there's
shared.
one that's got a
this
UFO in
week coming out of
clouds.
China. And what are we looking at? Is this some kind of massive UFO just hovering there in this big cloud formation? It almost looks like a Superman symbol, but it's all black and there's some geometric shape to it. This isn't a natural shadow, in my opinion. There's something up there. Brent, what's your thoughts? Wow, look at that thing. It's clearly there, something massive, and it seems to be trying to camouflage itself within the clouds, but it's not doing a very good job at it. It's actually making itself present. It's weird shape if it's a spacecraft, because it has these weird angles. It's not geometric in shape. It's very strange. Look at that thing.
Right, okay, I get the idea.
And it's off at some distance, Brent.
We get the idea. Oh, hang on. Oh, see, every time I think that's enough, they move on to something else.
Look this, another broad daylight sighting. This one's kind of interesting. A super clear shot.
Too good to be true. Again, it could be a balloon. 'Cause it's not. If they start zigzagging about, you think fair enough. But we're just like gliding across the sky like a balloon would.
All right, captured in the mountains, and something strange is going on up.
Probably. I think that's probably a balloon or something. A helium balloon. Just catch it like one of them. Like they said, one of them silver party ones. I forgot the name of what they call them silver ones, but that anyway. Right, so got another one here. What's this one?
It doesn't have much going on except that, once again, it's genuine, coming in from real people, confirmed, no AI, no CGI. People say it's all fake, it's all AI. No, it's not. What we're sharing here is authentic footage coming in from the public, and look how beautiful this image is. The original to the left, the video to the right. I blew it up about 300%, added some brightness, contrast, and we're seeing this craft just shimmer in the light. It's a fantastic sighting. Yeah, look at that, just glinting up there. It's nothing I'm aware of. It's not a helicopter. It's not a plane. It's not a
How do you
drone.
know?
It's not a balloon. We can rule all these things out.
Why?
Now,
Why
the big
can you
question
rule all
is,
those
what
things
is it?
out?
It's just up there floating. Very beautiful sighting.
It could be a plane, couldn't it? Just catching the sun, but whatever. But whatever. Now, what's the next one? Oh, we're in space now, look.
Something appears behind Earth itself, peering over the horizon. We're getting some close-up looks at this. What the heck is going on? This is absolutely incredible. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this is some kind of blast, a massive one, but we haven't heard anything in the major news, so I'd have to rule that out. But what could it be is very, very bizarre. I'm
This were
trying to
filmed on the
figure out if
International
this
Space
is
Station,
maybe some kind of
it'd be all over the
reflection from
news, wouldn't it?
within the ISS, but I could clearly see, and you could clearly see that this comes from behind Earth itself, peering over the horizon. Look at this thing. Whatever it is, it seems to be at least maybe hundreds of miles in length here. Brent, your thoughts?
Yeah, Blake, take a look at that plasmic discharge. What's happening is incredible, and we have this yellow, bright object in the center of it all, and then this kind of purple, reddish hue around the whole thing. It kind of looks like it's a prism in its own sense. It's reflecting. I could guarantee this is not a reflection off the lens from inside the ISS. What we're seeing is something.
Don't know. Yeah, I've just stopped it because I've had enough. Let's say if that were from ISS, it'd be all over the news, wouldn't it? It would. So, but you never know. You never know. Anyway, here we go. A weird cloud, or something's blown up or something, hasn't it?
Is this some kind of natural formation? Maybe possible jets that left this behind? Commercial airliner with some trail behind it, but it's weird. It goes into different directions. Maybe this was some kind of
Going on there.
rocket that malfunctioned, and you can see the debris move from right to left in the upper portions to create this kind of wing-like effect, but you can almost see like a head on this, a torso, and some
bet it's,
legs underneath. Again, I don't think this is CGI by any means. We're looking at it. You can see the refraction of lights. You can kind of see some sparks and anomalies that swarm
China.
around the
I
underskirt.
bet it is. I
of
bet it's
this
a Chinese rocket.
apparition, this angelic being. It's incredible. I love this stuff. Brent, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, we've kind of seen this around the planet, and this is some of the best footage I've seen. This has the most detail, and it clearly shows some sort of like apparition or angel, as you would call it. Was this done by jets leaving a trail behind and kind of creating artwork in the sky? That's a possibility. What I'm finding fascinating are those little anomalies on the bottom of this. What is that?
You see these lights jumping in and out of the underskirt of this. It's kind of like surrounding it, moving in a zigzag way back and forth. It's very weird. It's captured a few moments. You can see it peek in and hiding in the sky, atmospheric.
Move on. I presume we're looking down at clouds, at the top of the clouds there. I'm zooming in there. Don't know what that is. Another aircraft, probably not. It could be top of a volcano sticking through the clouds for all we know. I don't know what it is. I know. What was that? There's some sort of line there. Sort of like heading, pointing down towards that. You see it? I'm going to pause it. You might show it again, I don't know. Is it? Shows it again. there. Points directly at that. So they don't not seem to be mentioning that, do they? I noticed it. Can't remember. There's a what's the step forward? I think it's is it that? No, it's not that. I always get bloody wrong, don't I? Oh, there's it again. Look. So I'm guessing something. It could be a meteorite, a meteor, whatever has come down, hasn't it? Left a trail behind it, or it could be a rocket, something that's come back down, or something space debris, something that's come down. But because there's a trail there, isn't there? Or whatever. I don't know. Yes, it could be something. Yes. But yes, that's weird that they don't mention that. Oh, we get a closer look. Let's have another close look. I mean, is it the sea? Well, is it top of clouds? I think it's top of the clouds, isn't it? Yes, it is. Showing that trail again now, is it? Has that disappeared? Oh, there it is. So is that on?
So first off, I want to thank the Hidden
on the
Underbelly
window, then?
2.0. He's got an incredible YouTube channel, and he's getting the information for us from around the world. And he's got permission from the person who shot this that we could share it right here with you guys. So this is coming in from the eyewitness. He said he was coming in from Magadan, Russia, and it was earlier this month. Hidden Underbelly asked him if he's by any volcanoes in the area. His response was there was definitely no volcanoes in the near area.
I think that
He said there was a
on the
pulsating
glass, then.
glow at the very edge of the upper layer of the clouds. He also stated that this orb was over the cloud layer. He says that the plane's altitude was approximately at 20,000 feet, and he could see the cloud layer below him, but this shiny, bright, reddish orb caught his eye. He began to film this, and he captured it for approximately 3 minutes. So this is incredible footage. If this isn't a volcano, and from the eyewitness's statement that this is indeed an orb that was floating above the cloud layer, what
yeah,
the
it's
heck
on the
is
glass,
it?
isn't it? Like
Now,
big cracking
let me
glass.
tell you, I've seen a lot of
I'll be happy
crazy
on a
UFO
plane looking at
phenomenon,
that.
and I'm hoping the pilot will come forward because I'm sure he noticed it as well. So we have a passenger aboard a commercial airline heading on his way to Magadan, Russia, and he captures this. If we could have a cooperation between the pilot and a passenger, now that would be great.
I would say, why are these videos and stuff always so poor quality? I can't say anything because I once tried taking a video of a squirrel in the park, and that came out pretty much like one of these. Cool. It's the Enterprise E. Oh no, it's Voyager from the back, isn't it? There's its nacelles. That's its saucer section, and that's the secondary hull. It is honest. Oh, or maybe it's the Prometheus and it's separating. I'm kidding, of course.
No CGI. This is real stuff we're sharing with you. The question is, what the heck are we looking at? Bob Lazar speaks of the sports model. Is this something in regards to that technology? Something that defies gravity or seemingly defies gravity with no means of
it is.
propulsion? It's quite
His
interesting.
time ship.
Again, the jagged edges that's protruding around this craft, and you can see it hover and descend behind the rooftop there. So it is quite interesting. I'm trying to gauge on how large this craft is. I'm guessing, I don't know, 20 to maybe 40 feet in diameter. Brent, what's your thoughts here?
We're looking at something crazy, and everybody's mentioning the appendages on this. I like it a lot. What this reminds me of is recent sightings in Latin America that
The
look
original one,
exactly
yeah, the
like this.
remake.
And decades earlier, we're looking at the
Great
same
show.
phenomenon. This is exciting stuff. I hope more people in the future will go through those archives.
They're not hiding, and they weren't hiding back then either. Again, we get this one shot where the person's zooming into it, and this craft is off at a
Janeway's my
distance.
favourite captain.
And again, we see nothing that indicates any kind of propulsion, and it seems metallic as well. So, pretty incredible stuff, to say the least. Guys, I want to get your opinions in this live premiere. We're in the chat, we're chiming in.
Mira esa luz de ahí, ¿sí la estás viendo? La luz. ¿Sí la miras la luz o solo la miro yo?
Is it a will-o'-the-wisp? Could that be an atmospheric effect?
Mira,
The sunlight just reflecting on
miren esa luz
something in the
extraña.
mist.
Miren ahí.
Se le está apareciendo.
Yo la estoy grabando.
¿Qué miran? Una luz, ahí ve una luz.
Me preocupa ya.
¿Estás bien? Mano.
Is it gonna do anything?
Si no la tapa, ¿no? Mírala, mírala ahí. Es que lo chistoso es que está flotando y cuando la miramos en el suelo. ¿Qué será, no?
Obviously, it want that. What I said then. What if that is it again? It's some sort of orb. Anyway.
Miren esa luz.
We're in St. Augustine, Florida. We're traveling across America. There's some kind of phenomenon that could be biological in nature.
So the last one is this. Yes, very, very interesting.
Volcanoes are an active area for UFO sightings, and I'm not surprised that they capture something like this in South America and Latin America. It's a hot spot.
Florida.
Just pull this up. I do have some background information on this video, and it's in my email. Just let me pull this up, and this is what we heard. An incredible giant orb caught in the Cumbal volcano in Colombia. Norino.
So it's an Earth
And
light.
eyewitnesses
We're looking at an Earth
says
light.
that this happened in Colombia. So they're traversing up to the volcano when they spotted this. They said they observed a giant sphere of light, and it was inhospitable in the place that it was located. It could have been anything.
Anyway, there we go. So there we go. That's us show for tonight. We'll get rid of that. So that was interesting. I think genuinely said Earthlight. I wasn't kidding. I think that were an Earthlight. Right. Me old camera's on. I don't know why my new one went off. Anyway, whatever. Starmer 60 says there was a revival of V about 2002. I can't say it. 2007, 2008. Not great. It was alright. It wasn't as good as the originals. Not a patch on it. It got cancelled, didn't it, after 2 seasons? Something like that. It had Mirena Baccarin in it, and Jane Badler returned as Mirena Baccarin's mother. I think it's, yeah. But Beardy Brits is watching the original V's. The first mini-series is brilliant, unbeatable. The next one that came along, Final Battle, not quite as good, even though it had Michael Ironside in it. But the theme for it was miles better. The theme for V, the Final Battle's ace. But anyway. Starman6 says, original V was better. Somebody claimed Mark Singer passed. Don't think so. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. He might have done. I don't know. Let's have a look. Mark Singer. The Beastmaster. No, still 78 he is. Still knocking about. So, but there we go. Hang on, I'm just clicking things. There we go. Right, so anyway, we'll leave it there. As I said, links. Hang on, let me undo that. There we go. Links are in the description for all the articles we've looked at and the presidential UFO thing and all that, and these two YouTube videos to things. I've got that other thing to add on to the Falcon Lake incident. I'll remember to add that. So we'll leave it there, because I've been going for nearly 3 hours. Bloody hell, it's nearly midnight. It is, it's 20 to 12 at night here. And I'm getting a bit hoarse. So we'll leave this. I haven't done bad, seeing as, I nearly didn't do this stream because I was too tired. Thank you, Justin. That is very much appreciated. And again, thank you for the super chat at the beginning. Right, we'll leave it there. What have I got coming up next? Tomorrow, for Magnificent Mondays, we're going to break down and review Red Dawn, the original from 1984, the first PG-13 movie. That's what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. And then on Friday Night Appointment with Fear, we're doing Deadly Blessing from 1981, which I've never seen before. Starman 60 says, anyway, this good show, enjoyed it, Yorkshire. Thank you very much. Call me Steve, for that is my name. And Beardy Brit says, buy a pool, because he's always in his pool. I think I've only ever seen Beardy Brits and his bare shoulders. His beard, obviously. Anyway, right, so, see, Windgrace is off. Have a good night, y'all. He's out of here. He's done. Right, so we'll leave it there. Go follow Windgrace on YouTube. Go follow Beardy Brits on YouTube. Both great channels. And follow me as well. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin, and thanks, Beardy Brits and Windgrace and Starman 60. Anything else popping? We had the idiots earlier on. I think that's it, isn't it? I've probably missed somebody. I probably have. I'm going to keep looking back. I don't think I've missed anybody. Oh, and Keith, of course, Keith earlier on as well, yes. Right, so we will leave it there. So, hang on, what's happening? Justy says, take care, everyone. Have a good week. Yes, have a good rest of your Sunday. Yes, I remembered. Eventually. I'm terrible. I've got terrible memory. It's bloody awful. Anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. Hang on, let me get sorted. Where are we? So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. Keep watching the skies, and I'll see thee.